Max 2.
Hi folks, we're back. If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Pick up the phone, call now.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, well, your favorite attorney has a message for you. Collision, calamity, catastrophe? Are you innocent, faultless, above reproach? If you want money, you need an attorney. You need a bulldog. But finding one, it's laborious, it's strenuous, it's stupefying. That's why you gotta call the number on your screen now.
To get your own bulldog, call your favorite attorney now.
They'll help you connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. They know the legalese, the lingo, the jargon, and the argot.
When I got hit by a car, I was confused, confounded, and concerned. But calling left me calm, composed, and comforted. Thanks, your favorite attorney.
They'll even tell you how much money your case could be worth. $300,000, $2 million, $86,491, all sorts of numbers.
Call your favorite attorney now. He'd call you, but he doesn't have your number.
Call 800-513-2164.
Slip and falls, work accidents, car, truck, bus, motorcycle, motorbike, e-bike, tandem bike. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid, and I don't get paid.
After I was blindsided and sideswiped by a fat tire e-bike towing a skateboarder, I didn't know what to do. But a friend recommended that I call his favorite attorney. And I got results. Now, he's my favorite attorney.
It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it was. As long as it had an engine and the accident wasn't your fault, call your favorite attorney now.
So I compel you, I implore you, I beseech you to pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
To get a windfall, you first need to call.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
Thanks, your favorite attorney.
So if you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, call your favorite attorney now.
800-513-2164. That's 800-513-2164.
We just talked about sports. It has a vital role in our society. From
Hunters, where the true target is the truth of the gospel. Watch Twin Factor Wednesdays and weekends on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative.
Fed up with that.
Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove. Encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Thursday. We call it Friday Eve here at the Dove. Good morning to you. Jerry is wired and fired.
Oh, boy.
He's a year older. What'd you do? Did you put some Jet A on your cereal this morning?
You know what I had? I pulled an all-nighter last night.
You did?
Yeah, when you go to sleep, you don't wake up until the alarm rings.
Oh,
can you imagine? Yes.
You didn't even get up to...
Nothing. Man, I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool.
Wow.
Isn't it funny how all-nighters change in different stages of our life?
Yeah, they're kind of wonderful things to experience.
Yeah, well, this one is.
Okay. Well, anyway, TMI, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. A lot in the news. There always is. You never know what's going to happen next, but we have some of the highlights for you this morning. And the weather, well, hey, it's going to turn nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're going to get some weather here. And
boy.
Well, nice weather, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you got? Happy Thursday.
Well, first of all, the weather is getting nice. You dogs, might get an urge to roam and check things out. It is National Lost Dog Awareness Day.
Well,
increasing, yes, awareness of those who get lost out, well, wherever it may be.
Well, let me say this. Don't ever buy a hound dog.
Why?
Because their nose goes to the ground and you'll never see them again.
Oh, they just keep tracking.
Especially beagles.
Oh.
If a beagle gets out of your yard, it's gone.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have those kinds of dogs.
They're little hound dogs, and away they go.
My dogs just keep coming back
Okay.
when they're hungry.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but you know what this brings up? The topic of, awareness of lost dogs.
Yeah.
How about the microchip?
Well, there you go.
Is it Is it something that more and more people are doing? Are people shying away from it? You know, we keep hearing microchips, and then we keep thinking of the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
But putting it in a beast, is that the mark of the beast?
Well, if you love them. I mean, you know, it's interesting, though. They do put the chip in. But you know what?
What?
I've never heard of a story where people found their dog using the chip. Have you?
Actually, I have, yeah.
So is it a
it happens.
A satellite thing?
No, it does happen. Yeah. There's a database. Oh. And so they chip your dog.
Like
so
your phone? Can you put your dog on your phone?
That opens up a whole can of worms,
well,
doesn't it?
If you got your lose your phone thing, why can't you have that? You know, there's an idea somebody ought to make $1 gazillion off of.
Yeah.
Have your chip go to your phone.
Okay, go to your phone. Yes.
Oh yeah, Rover's over there. He's stuck in the fence again.
It's like Find Friends.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's the same. Why not? Why couldn't you just put it? You know, I have a feeling that you can.
Okay, well.
Hey, you know what? You know what I got for my birthday? I got one of these great devices where, it's a meat thermometer.
Oh.
That reads on your phone.
Have you used it yet?
I have just got it. I haven't done it yet.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
It's the one you leave in the meat?
Yes.
Oh, it is primo.
Okay.
Especially, well, no matter what it is, but if say you're doing a nice big tri-tip on the grill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will be perfect.
Okay.
You just got to remember as it's cooking, and you're looking for that certain temperature.
Absolutely, yeah.
Take it off a little bit because it will keep cooking.
Right, yeah, that's what meat does when you rest.
That little trick.
Yes.
Or put it on the top rack.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But if you got the one where you stick it in there and you leave it and then you monitor it on your phone.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're going to be the champion of the block.
Okay.
It'll come out perfect.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm encouraged. Yeah. It's also National Administrative Professionals Day, also known as Secretary's Day or Administrative Day, and recognizing the professionals who keep an office running smoothly every single day.
1, 2, 3.
How many
4,
do you have?
5.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, okay. I'm not even touching it. It's also National Take a Chance Day, encouraging us to break out of our comfort zones. And that, sometimes you have to assess that before you leap. Look before you leap.
Yeah.
Be out of your comfort zone. But sometimes we need to come out of our comfort zones.
You need to be challenged to get out of there.
Yes.
Yeah, people die in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and once you do come out of that comfort zone, enjoy the cherry cheesecake. It is National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Well, now there you go.
Yes, and of course we know most cakes are crumbly, but not cheesecakes. They're more like thick and rich. The texture is nothing like cake. It is wonderful. And there are a lot of different types of toppings that you can do on cheesecake, but it's hard to beat cherries.
It's my favorite ride.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
it's a good one. So we're going to enjoy that, and we're going to take it on a picnic, because today is National Picnic Day.
All right.
Dating all the way back to the Middle Ages, when feasts and outdoor gatherings were a common form of entertainment. In the early usage, the term picnic was actually used to describe a communal meal where each participant would contribute a dish. And that's kind of still done in a lot of picnics, Victorians embraced picnics as a way to escape the constraints of their formal society and reconnect with nature. And of course, you have to have sandwiches on picnics. They became a staple of picnic food in the 19th century thanks to the invention of the sliced bread machine by Otto Frederick Rohrwacher. He did that in 1928. Sandwiches became easy to prepare and transport for outdoor dining. So enjoy your picnic, take your cherry cheesecake along, and have a great day.
Wow.
That's it.
Good stuff.
All right.
Here's a guy that's been on a picnic most of his life.
Here's a look at our weather from Grange Co-op. With conditions trending drier and warmer today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Continuing down the Willamette Valley with clearing skies to mostly sunny and daytime highs in the low 60s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies today across central Oregon with high temperatures in the low 60s for Prineville and Bend and upper 50s around Sun River. Mostly sunny and breezy in Boise, Idaho with a high in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny skies this morning along the Oregon coast, then clearing and becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 50s from Coos Bay through Port Orford, Brookings, and down to Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, partly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin, then becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 60s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 63 in Klamath Falls. Into northern California, becoming sunny in upper 60s in Wairika, sunny skies in Redding and Chico with highs near 75, and sunny over in Fort Bragg with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny in Santa Rosa and Napa with highs near 72, sunny in San Francisco with a high in the upper 60s, and patchy fog in San Jose, then clearing to sunny in 68. For Central California, sunny skies from Sacramento south through Stockton, Modesto, Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield. Daytime high temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Man, a little bit of a little cloud layer over the valley this morning, which is, okay, it'll last a couple hours. It'll be gone.
I like that description. We have a clearing, drying, warming trend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're kind of want a little relief. It was cold out there this morning, like 37.
Yeah, my dashboard dinged at me again. Put a little snowflake up.
Really?
I said, don't call me a snowflake.
Well, okay. Here you are.
Time for some encouragement this morning with Dr. Anthony George as he looks at how precious our faith is.
And one of these apostles named Peter, who would go on later to write 2 letters in our New Testament, he opened the first of his letters, 1 Peter chapter 1, talking about the faith of his hearers being tested. He says, you're rejoicing in the resurrection of Christ. In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while, if need be, you've been grieved by various trials. That the genuineness of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though your faith is tested by fire, here's the goal, that it may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And that underlined expression, tested by fire, that is when the pressures and the hardship and the pain and the adversity are so intense, it feels as though a blowtorch is applied to your heart. Your faith is being put to the test. And he says, your faith is much more valuable, or should be, than gold that perishes. Meaning that everything else you acquire in this life, you're leaving behind. You're leaving it behind to someone else. Therefore, the only part of you which is eternal is your soul. And the food for your soul is faith in God. Faith is much more valuable than gold and money and your wealth portfolio and all the possessions that you can accumulate. And yet, what matters the most in your life will be put to the test the most. All are tested, but not all pass. And Thomas, of course, had faith failure, but Jesus gave him another chance.
Wow.
Faith failure.
Faith failure.
So the most precious things in your life will be tested.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so true. By the way, just a little reminder. It started on Sunday, April 19th, last Sunday, and it'll go through until Saturday afternoon. And this is all from 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening Eastern time. The Bible is being read by hundreds of people. 9 to 9 every day for a week. And this is taken from the story of Ezra, where she read the Word of God, taken out of Ezra, I should say, where they read the Word of God aloud to the people of Israel, awakening a revival and repentance. And so they have put together a Bible reading from Genesis to Revelation. So it's going on even as we speak today, and it'll conclude Saturday, okay? Followed by the National Day of Prayer, which is May 7th, and then followed by May 17th, when the president has declared May 17th a day of prayer and praise and repentance and rededicating the United States to be one nation under God.
Right.
Now, folks, even TDS should be set aside for something like this, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say is that this is good stuff all the way around, and I believe God is pleased and will honor it. So take a look at that. Right. Good morning to you. 11 past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories this morning. Well, a couple of things. Now, as you know, Virginia was trying to pull the fast one with the redistricting.
Yep.
And you and I were talking about it yesterday, and I said if it ever gets in front of a judge, maybe they could stop it. Well, it did get in front of a judge, and he did stop it.
Yep.
This is, folks, I can't tell you how big of a deal this is.
Yep.
Because they were redistricting Virginia to less than 9% would be represented by Republicans. And they did this gerrymandering trick.
Yep.
Okay. And a Virginia judge issued a ruling blocking Virginia from moving forward with certifying the results of a special election regarding redistricting referendum. Now, this means, were the votes valid? Was this legal? And according to the judge, several state laws were broken during this time. Now, I want to say this carefully because you just need to know. One of the champions in front of this referendum was former President Barack Obama.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he came out and he was saying, this needs to be done because the Republicans do nothing but try to steal the election by rigging the vote.
Wow. Wow.
Now, stop. The only way you can digest this without getting angry is understand something that I've tried to relate as much as I can. Doesn't make me a smart person. I just come to the conclusion that the Democrats get an A+++ in blaming you for what they are doing.
Yep.
And the moment you get that into your head, you'll be able to understand the motive and the purpose and, most of all, the marketing of what they do. They market what they do by blaming you for what they are doing. This was a ultimate jerry-rigging, and the judge stepped in, so we'll see what happens. This could be tied up in court and will not take effect for the midterm elections.
Okay.
Now, Texas is next, okay? California is coming up in a couple of weeks, and this gerrymandering. So the question, ask this simple little question to yourself and to your friends.
What?
Can a Democrat win with voter ID?
That is the question, and I'm glad you've asked it. Because it seems as though, according to them, they can't.
They can't win with voter ID. So the question is, why?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so much be that. It's pretty interesting. In the meantime, late in the night, you know, I think maybe Republicans are getting a backbone.
Oh.
There are times where I wonder if they even have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Senate Republicans worked all night and stopped another attempt to stop the president from continuing military operations against Iran. They voted all night, and the vote came in at 46-51, and they've defeated the motion. So think about this, that the Democrats are for Iran succeeding.
Yeah, right.
That's the simple conclusion.
Part of their talking points is believe those officials in Tehran before you believe the Republican officials in Washington, D.C., namely Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking at the wrong VO here. But the point is this, that the Senate stopped it last night, 46-51. They stopped the vote. This is a big deal. In the meantime, the president thinks that perhaps Friday they could be sitting down talking to Iran again. Pakistan has asked for the extension of the ceasefire. Pakistan is trying to broker some talks between the two sides. We'll see, as they say. The president has extended the ceasefire, but did not give a deadline.
Right.
So I don't know if he's saying, if you don't come to the table Friday, we're going to bomb you on Saturday.
Do you understand anything that's going on right now? Because we know that the ceasefire has been extended, and yet I hear reports that overnight Iran has attacked 3 more ships in the Straits, cargo ships. And I keep hearing, Carolyn Levitt, the spokesperson for the White House, keeps talking about this isn't a card game analogy these days, and the president holds all the cards. Yet it seems like Iran is holding a really big card right now called the Straits of Hormuz. And we're paying for it when we go to the pump. What do you think? How do you outplay that card?
Well, if you just want to jump on the emotions of it, you can yell and scream and jump up and down. I'm going to give some space and time here that the United States and Israel has intelligence that we know nothing about.
Okay.
And that this master plan is more strategic than we're perhaps realizing.
All right, yeah.
And one of the things I think the president is trying to do here is show the world he has given them every opportunity in the world to come to the table. And they're not doing it. The question is, when's the last time?
Yeah. And what's the solution?
Well, the solution is going to be, I think most people are saying now, we're in for more military action.
I think that's the truth. And I know we're loaded and ready for bear right off, including boots that could go on the ground. So, yeah, we're kind of in a pause in that sense right now.
So, in the meantime, we're in a pause. Pause always gives Iran a chance to reload and re-strategize.
Yes. Yeah.
Pause also gives Israel's intelligence a chance to see who's moving where, because Israel knows that there's strife between the military and the political side of whatever's left of the regime. That's Israel intelligence coming back to us. We know that. So even though a pause has usually worked in favor of Iran, pause now is also exposing some of their weaknesses, because even though they're moving around, with what and what do they have left?
Yeah.
So I can't help but think that there's a predetermined strategy and attack that will happen if they don't come to the table and give up their nukes.
Okay.
And remember, our good friend Kenneth Abramowitz says, you need to get this in your head, and it's hard for us to do this. This is a death cult. This is a Jim Jones bunch of people drinking the Kool-Aid. Okay?
Oh, wow.
They're willing to die for what they believe.
Yeah.
Okay? And so they don't want to give up nukes. We want them to give up nukes. That's the sticky point.
Yeah.
Okay? Along with some other things, but that's the main one.
That's the main one, yeah.
And so we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's us. We can sit here and commentate on it all day long. We're just a bunch of loudmouths.
Yeah.
Because we really don't know what the game plan is.
Yeah. We talk about it, in the morning, and then we get a little fired up when we go to the gas pump in the afternoon.
Well, that argument, look, that just...
Yeah.
The only thing, I've asked 2 people now, why is it if we are energy independent, why is our gas prices high?
Yeah.
And here's the answer I got, and it still doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Since the world is coming to the United States to get oil because they're not getting it from the Straits, we're selling them oil at market rates.
Right, okay.
So they're paying high prices for it?
Exactly. Yes.
Why are we paying high prices for it?
Because they can.
See,
Yeah.
I think there's a gap here that doesn't make sense.
Right.
And quite frankly, I don't want to use a certain word here.
Okay, please.
It's not a bad word. It's just the wrong word to use because I don't need the pushback.
Okay.
It's not a nasty word. It's not a cuss word.
Okay.
But the point is this, that if we have all this oil and we're selling it to people at open market prices, especially these other countries, we're obviously making a lot of money here. But if we had the oil already in our reserve and we're selling it at a high price, why are we getting a discount?
Yeah.
Why isn't the American people getting a discount?
Is that price gouging?
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just
Look, I am
curious.
left with no other conclusion.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm thinking, well, this doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't the president come up and say, all right, all you suppliers in the United States discount oil here at least 15%?
Oh, yeah. You know, here's the trouble.
If we're energy independent.
Here is the trouble with this right now. This has gotten so bad with the straits being closed and prices going up that you actually have a California gubernatorial candidate, Democrat, blaming California's high gas prices on the president.
Yeah.
And getting away with it.
Well, I have a story on him. I think the air is coming out of his sneakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Hey, happy Thursday to you. What is today? Cherry
cheesecake. Nothing wrong with that.
Let me think about that.
Okay.
Cherry cheesecake. What's not to like about that?
I'll take it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're older. How you feeling?
Oh, ready for cherry cheesecake. Hey, I pulled an all-nighter, man. I'm feeling great.
You pulled an all-nighter.
Yeah.
That's not what you think, folks.
Yeah.
He's old. He slept all night. All right, we'll be right back.
Because of what your cross has done, you're blown away the prison doors. Hallelujah, God, I am condemned.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
All right, good morning to you. 24 minutes past the hour on a beautiful Thursday morning here in Southern Oregon. The Lord's going to retire here. He bought his retirement home here. Who did? The Lord.
Oh. Well, he picked a good neighborhood to come to.
Well, look at this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's his landing strip.
I love it.
That's not sacrilege. I'm just having a good time. Okay. All right, good morning to you. Well, listen, our little friend to the south has got a bigger headache by the day. By the way, did you see there was a poll 2 days ago, and Kamala Harris is 1 point ahead of Governor Newsom for president.
I saw that, yes.
You have got to be kidding.
I saw that, yes.
That shows you how bad he's doing.
Absolutely, and his wife's not helping him either. Oh,
well, here's another report that came out yesterday. Right. Governor Newsom covertly spent $1 billion importing 400,000 migrant workers from countries to serve the state's democratic political machine and the elite-dominated economy.
Wow.
He spent $1 billion of California tax money to import 400,000 to offset the votes. Okay? Now, here's how they do it. Think about what I'm about to tell you this morning. Okay? And I want to step back here and say that each one of these groups are humanitarian groups. They don't see blue or red.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They see people that need help.
Yeah, rightly so, yes.
Okay. So the governor gave $250 million to the Catholic Charities, $85 million to Jewish Family Services, $12 million to Central League de la Raza, $23 million to Immigration Institutes of the Bay Area, And there's another one of $110 million to major Latino political machines. It ended up being, when you add all these together, there's a whole host of things here. A little over $1 billion was given to bring these people in, offering them these services, which obviously translates into votes.
Right. $1 billion. And where did this money come from?
Well, there you go.
What?
So you're going to have to look at California for the fraud, which may have come through the COVID problems and all that it created. But can you imagine that the governor now has to account for $1 billion to get 400,000 immigrants, illegal immigrants, into the state of California?
In a supermajority state like California is, will anybody scrutinize this?
They better. But look, I think he's out.
Okay. Yeah, right.
You know, the Republicans are running around the state championing this stuff, especially Steve Hilton and the other guy, the sheriff. They should make hay on this, okay? But if in the meantime, he's being beat by 1 point by Kamala Harris, I mean, you talk about having a bad day.
Okay, and with that in mind, is she going to run? You know, she still teases about it. She hasn't said no.
You know, I say this respectfully.
Okay.
I pray that she does.
Okay. Yeah.
We just need a bunch of word salads out there.
Right. I think a whole bunch of people agree with you. Yeah.
And look, I don't think she gets the nomination, but you know what she does?
What?
She splits the vote.
You know, that's a great point. I mean, she's never done well in the primary process before. She was anointed last time, but you're right. If she comes in, she has enough weight that she would split the vote. Yes.
So I have a rhetorical question.
What?
And you're old now. You can investigate this.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, here's the deal. Can we prove that she literally, on her own, passed the bar exam?
Oh, that's a great question. I have no clue.
She's dumb as a rock.
I know she is.
I cannot believe that the gears turn up there that can produce the right answer on the bar. I know guys that are very intelligent have to take the bar 1 or 2 times.
Just remember, Kamala said that, Iran is another country. It's not our country. And when we're there, we're in another country.
So, can we prove that Kamala Harris, on her own, passed the bar exam?
I doubt it. What a question.
I think it needs to be looked into.
Yeah.
So much fun. All right, the other thing is this, folks. Look, we're real close. Today is the 23rd, and on the 28th, it's the last day to register to vote in the state of Oregon. I really hope, I don't need to get on my high horse here and get people mad at me, but I really hope you take this one really seriously. We always say this is the most consequential election cycle, and everyone is. But folks, let me ask you a question. Do you know that you're registered?
Oh, that's a big question.
Do you know how you're registered? If you got a ballot last time and you didn't get any candidate's name on it, that's probably because you registered as an independent, okay? And you're only going to get independent people on there. You may have to go down and change your registration in order to get the ballot. And I can't tell you how important primary votes are.
Yeah.
Because that will produce the candidate you want to go forward in the general election. That's one thing. The other thing is we have got to vote down this gas tax.
Yeah.
We've got to shove it down the legislature's throat.
Yes.
And so you got to vote. If you've changed your name, if you've moved, if you don't know that you're registered, you don't know what party you're registered, go online and get this fixed today.
Yeah.
The 28th is the last day, okay? And just get it done and be a responsible citizen and get it done. Now, you're probably going to get the voter's guide in the mail the next day or so, maybe today. And read it.
Yes.
Read about the candidates.
Okay.
Read about the issues. Once it's out, we'll go through it here. You say, really? Yes, really. I think it's that important. I'm willing to stick my neck out to go through it. Okay. So much for that. Whew. Okay, let's take a look at the satellite image. What's happening?
Oh, it looks good. It looks like a kind of a general clearing and drying and warming trend coming our way. Right. We're going to see mostly sunny skies today, mid-60s, but it's going to pop up to 70 degrees tomorrow under sunshine. And we're going to see sunny skies or even partly sunny skies through the weekend into next week. And you know when I see the next bit of precipitation coming our way? I don't. Nowhere down the line.
Well,
so
you get an all-nighter more often.
You know, isn't it nice, though? Do you sleep well when you hear the rain on the roof?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, isn't it wonderful?
You got to crack the window so you can smell it.
Yes, yes.
So, a couple of old guys talking about sleep.
About sleep. Hey, it becomes more and more important.
You know what? You realize the demo of our audience now? We got to be careful here. We got to do something young. Maybe we ought to show up in flower shirts or something.
What a thought.
Okay,
here's another thought. Okay, one of the things that I think that we kind of struggle with, we look at this sanctuary city thing that goes on in this country. And not only that we may disagree with, bringing in illegals and trying to, provide sanctuary for them, I think most people here want us, as a nation, be following the laws of the land.
What a thought.
What a thought, yes. So, and then part of that is that they not only are flouting the law in that sense, but then in their sanctuary policies, oftentimes they don't want to cooperate with ICE and immigration enforcement. That's going on in Houston. Houston is run by liberal, as many metropolitan areas are. So they've been instituting these sanctuary city policies, including demanding or instituting that the police doesn't cooperate with ICE. But guess what? The governor found a way around it. The governor, Greg Abbott, said, okay, guess what? You guys get funding from the state to the tune of over $100 million. I'll probably just withhold that from you. And the council has responded. But let's hear from Governor Greg Abbott on this.
If the city council was serious about public safety, they would not allow illegal immigrants to roam their streets and kill people like Jocelyn Nungary. There are other people like that in Houston who've been raped, assaulted, and victimized by people who are here illegally and allowed to roam the streets. Second, and importantly, the city of Houston signed an agreement to get money from the state of Texas that required Houston to comply with the Department of Homeland Security programs about detaining illegal immigrants. After already getting $110 million from the state under that agreement, Houston is now trying to renege on their obligations. The contract clearly said that the failure to comply will require Houston to return all of the money that it got from the state of Texas, which amounts to approximately $110 million. Importantly, the requirement to return the money does not mean defunding the police. I signed a law to prevent cities from defunding the police. Under that law, Houston will have to find the funds elsewhere to fully fund the police. The law that I signed specifically says that grants do not count toward a city's funding of the police and does not eliminate their need to come up with the money to fully fund the police. So they're going to be out $110 million. And then after that, they still have to find ways to fully fund the police in Houston the way they are today. Otherwise, they're going to be in violation of another law in the state of Texas.
All right. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a comment here, but I'll hold it because we're over time. Okay. All right. Good stuff. We'll be right back. Here.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
All right, welcome back. 23 minutes before the hour. Time for us to check in with our good friend Chris Mitchell at CBN News and get an update of what's going on in the Middle East.
Iran launched attacks on at least 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz this morning, claiming they've seized control of the container vessels and ratcheting up tensions after President Trump declared an extension of the ceasefire. Just hours after the announcement, the IRGC rallied government supporters with a parade including ballistic missiles in the heart of Tehran. The demonstrators chanted, "To strike the final blow," and hit the heart of Tel Aviv. Iran's state-run television quoted a military spokesman who threatened the U.S. He said, "In the event of aggression in any action against the Islamic Iran, the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran will immediately attack the predetermined targets with power and teach the aggressive American and child-killing Zionist entity another lesson more severely than before." The show of force and rhetoric leads some to believe Iran is now being led by leaders willing to resume the war. The actions come almost at the same time as President Donald Trump's announcement extending the ceasefire. Trump said late Tuesday, at Pakistan's request, the U.S. is indefinitely extending its ceasefire as he waits for a unified proposal from the Islamic Republic. The announcement came after a 2-week truce was set to expire, and talks led by Vice President J.D. Vance looked uncertain. Meanwhile, in Israel, no official word from the government as Israelis celebrated the 78th anniversary of the State of Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu marked the milestone.
In shelters and hospitals, in moments of pain, in moments of joy, we have no other country and we will have no other one. With God's help, we will complete the victory, strengthen our state, and secure our future.
Well, Chris Mitchell is here with us now live in the studio. Chris, welcome. President Trump talked about fractures in the Iranian government.
Yeah.
What kind of factions, fractures, what's he talking about?
Well, I think, first of all, it looks like the Iranian president is on one side, and it looks like the de facto leader of the IRGC is on the other side. And I think they're vying for control. This is a huge tug of war to determine, the future of Iran. I think the president probably wants to go to negotiations and let the country survive. But it looks like, and we can see this in the last 24 hours, the kind of rhetoric and the provocation, not only on the streets of Tehran, but also there in the Strait of Hormuz, it's seeming like they're wanting to go to war.
Well, just from a military analysis, the Revolutionary Guard's going to win this battle, aren't they, internally? Yeah. I mean, doesn't the president recognize that they're the ones with the weapons?
Yeah,
I don't have any.
Exactly, they don't have any, and it does look like that they would obviously be the victor in this tug of war. Right now, I've been talking to some people that are talking to people inside Iran right now, and they're saying that there are militias, foreign militias from Pakistan, from Iraq, from Afghanistan. Now they're sort of holding off what's going on in the streets. hired by the IRGC to keep things under wraps. And what they're saying, the people of Iran, the protesters, are saying, we started this, we want to finish this. They want Epic Fury to resume, but even if it doesn't, they feel like they're committed to see the regime change and fall eventually.
Well, if it does resume, what targets are left? I mean, I just can't imagine it's in the average person's interest to lose all electric power, to lose water. I'm already hearing that people are isolated in their homes, running out of food.
Yeah.
The situation is dire with no electricity, no running water.
Yeah.
Suddenly things get worse.
Yeah.
Do they really want that?
Well, I think some people would rather that than the regime. But certainly, and that's got to be kind of the calculus that President Trump is deciding on right now. How far do we go to literally wipe out the infrastructure that's going to really literally take them back to the Stone Age when they're not going to have, food or water? And how is that going to resolve things? But it may be the IRGC, and it seems like they are, animated by this ideology that they want to bring back the 12th Imam, the so-called Islamic Messiah. And if it leads to catastrophe, so be it, to bring him back. So this could be the ideology driving them.
Do you think any of the Western leaders, so the Trump administration, NATO, European powers, do any of them really understand that?
I think Secretary of State Marco Rubio does, for one. Maybe others do, but he's talked about their ideology, their fanaticism, that they want to really bring an end to the world as we know it, or export the ideology around the world and export the revolution so that they can really take Islam, and to global. But overall, I think Western leaders don't understand this kind of spiritual, religious, ideology and theology that animates the people of Iran, or the leaders of Iran. Why they've been building a nuclear weapon for years and years, and ballistic missiles. This is all designed with an ideology, a theology in mind.
Well, look, I think there's a lot he said there. There's a lot there. And the biggest thing he said is that it looks like Israel will finish the job no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
They have to.
Yeah, I think so.
They have to. All right, here's a guy that finishes the job every day. Kind of, sort of.
Here's a look at our weather from Grange Co-op. With conditions trending drier and warmer today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs in the low to mid 60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Continuing down the Willamette Valley with clearing skies to mostly sunny and daytime highs in the low 60s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies today across central Oregon with high temperatures in the low 60s for Prineville and Bend and upper 50s around Sun River. Mostly sunny and breezy in Boise, Idaho with a high in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny skies this morning along the Oregon coast, then clearing and becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 50s from Coos Bay through Port Orford, Brookings, and down to Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, partly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin, then becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 60s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 63 in Klamath Falls. Into northern California, becoming sunny in upper 60s in Wairika, sunny skies in Redding and Chico with highs near 75, and sunny over in Fort Bragg with a high in the mid 50s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny in Santa Rosa and Napa with highs near 72, sunny in San Francisco with a high in the upper 60s, and patchy fog in San Jose, then clearing to sunny in 68. For Central California, sunny skies from Sacramento south through Stockton, Modesto, Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield. Daytime high temperatures will be in the low to mid 70s. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
Our daily look back in time, looking at the archives. Well, isn't it interesting as you look at the culture around the world when those repressive cultures, communist dictatorships, when they want to open up and bring a little bit of westernization to their country, what's usually the first thing they do? McDonald's. And it happened on this day in Beijing, China.
Whoa.
On April 23, 1992, McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Beijing, China, and the response was overwhelming. On opening day alone, more than 40,000 customers poured through the doors, setting a company record at the time. The location wasn't small either. It was the largest McDonald's in the world, with hundreds of seats designed to handle massive crowds. For many in China, this wasn't just about food. It was a glimpse of Western culture and a brand new dining experience. Customers lined up for hours, eager to try items like the Big Mac and fries, which quickly became symbols of a changing, modernizing nation. More than 3 decades later, that first restaurant helped spark a fast food boom across China. McDonald's now has over 6,000 locations in China with the goal of 10,000 locations by 2028. Proof that sometimes a single opening day can make global history.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
Okay, I remember that headline. I remember that happening. And, I will say one thing about McDonald's.
Yeah.
What is it about their fries and coffee?
I don't know.
Those two things.
You hit it. Yeah, wait a minute. And the filet of fish. But anyway. Yes.
That's on the entree side.
But you are right. They're known for their coffee and their fries.
What is it about their coffee and fries?
I don't know. Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yep.
All right, we'll take a coffee and fry break right here. We're going to go have a 2 all-beef patties, the sesame seed bun to go.
Majestic beauty to this broken place. You reach beyond heaven's glory to hang upon a
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Hi, I'm Ryan Robertson, host of a brand new program on the Dove, Ministries on the Move. Ministries on the Move spotlights the incredible work of how God is using everyday people and organizations, putting their faith into action, serving the hurting, strengthening families, and sharing the hope of the gospel in practical ways. Be inspired and discover these ministries on the move. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m., right here on the Dove TV. Encouraging and informative. More at thedove.us.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you. Good morning to you. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll give you some recaps of the top stories of the day.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Well, that's pretty wise.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
God is faithful.
You go by faith and facts or feelings, along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
Changed the business of sports forever.
Was being paid a staggering $25,000 a year.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
93% of Americans want voter ID. Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming live at thedove.us, Roku, and Apple TV. All right, welcome back. 11 minutes before the top of the hour. Of course, when I have Megan Barth on, it's always kind of like, hold on, here we go. Anyway, I had her on, we talking about a bunch of things, but I did ask her, I said, what do you think about the president now? Kind of criticizing some of his base or former base.
Okay.
What's happened to Megyn Kelly and what's happened to Tucker Carlson?
Yeah.
Can we, do we really know what's happened, or is this part of their gig to stay in the headlines?
Good question.
Okay, here's what she had to say because the president went after Tucker.
Well, I think there has been this unfortunate scourge and rise in anti-Semitism, not only across the country, but within even the talking heads that were formerly Trump supporters, where you have Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and others, not Riley Gaines, lobbying against the Israeli lobby. Now, I understand why people have a problem with perhaps us funding Israel and their continued wars, especially when Trump said, look, no new wars. And here we are in the midst of a war with Iran. I get their criticism of perhaps funding what they see as Israelis' war. However, the Iran regime has been threatening America and the West for nearly 50 years. So I wouldn't call this Israelis' war. We finally have a president that's willing to do something about it, and that is to strip Iran not only of the regime and the Islamic terrorist regime, but strip them of their capabilities of building a nuclear weapon. And as Marco Rubio said on the shows this weekend, it was imminent. The fact that Iran had processed enough uranium, had the sites underground, hundreds of feet underground. They were very close at securing a nuclear weapon. And not only would the West or America be under attack, as we have been constantly with their threats, but so would the Western civilized world, because they believe in a caliphate. They believe the former Iranian regime not only believed in terrorism as a tool for political means, but they wanted an Islamic caliphate. So this president took a very unpopular step in the first year of his presidency before the midterms in order to protect our way of life. Not the popular thing to do, certainly not popular with the talking heads that were formerly on the right, but sometimes you have to do things that are unpopular in order to have a long-term strategy of peace.
Well, I still don't understand the Tucker Carlson turn.
I don't either. And Megyn,
it's
too.
almost sad, but it's now becoming, he's arrogant about it.
Yes, he is.
And I'm thinking, what happened to you? Or were you this all along? I can't help but think. There's pastors that get trapped in this.
Okay.
Big name pastors that are no longer in front of the camera or big crowds, and they get booted out because of their own conduct. They'll do anything to get back in front of that camera.
Yes.
And I can't help but think that some of this syndrome is with Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
They have to be in front of a camera doing something, and they say wild things, and guess what? You get headlines with it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. We were kind of questioning when Tucker was let go from Fox.
Right.
Because he seemed to be at the top of his game, right? Yeah. Right. But he was let go, and we all kind of scratched our head wondering why. Is this maybe why? Did they know something we didn't know?
Well, that I don't know.
Huh?
That I don't know. But you got to remember one thing. When they let somebody go, he was still under contract.
Right.
And he had a no-compete clause.
And that sets up my next question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He had a no-compete clause, so you couldn't see him pop up on MSNBC or anything, or whatever it's called now. But he can do this podcast thing. Okay, so between him and Megyn Kelly, they used to be in a platform that they had a huge audience.
Yeah.
Do they have any audience anymore?
They do.
How big? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't know the numbers, but they have an audience, to the point where they're getting headlines. But Tucker Carlson, what makes Tucker Carlson even more of an enigma is he claims to be a strong Christian.
Yeah.
And I think Turning Point America, Turning Point USA has a problem because he spoke at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
Right.
And he gave the plan of salvation.
Yes.
But since then, he has become ultra anti-Semitic. And you kind of wonder, all right, what's Turning Point USA going to do with this?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is messy.
Yes.
I don't know. I just, there's something about Tucker Carlson, and just like, it's sad. If you're not careful, get under your skin.
Yes.
Yeah, so much for all that.
Okay.
Yahoo.
Shall we move on?
It's up to you.
Okay.
You're next.
Okay, well, this is sweet. In the wild.
I know that you're going to become a farmer here in about an hour.
Oh, gosh. I forgot my overalls.
Oh. You forgot them?
I forgot my overalls. Oh. Pam, help.
No.
Anyway, let's move on. In the wild, survival is often about strength, but why one lioness proved that is also about love. At Addo Elephant Park, a blind lioness named Josie defied the odds for more than 5 years. Losing her sight in the wild is usually a death sentence, but Josie wasn't alone. Her 2 daughters stayed by her side, guiding her as she moved, protecting her, and even hunting for her. After making a kill, they would call out so their mother could find them and eat.
It's a rare level of care in the animal kingdom where injured animals are often left behind. But together, this small family adapted and survived. Josie lived to 17 years old, remarkable even for a healthy lioness. Her journey came to an end in 2025, but her story remains a powerful reminder. Even in the harshest environments, loyalty, connection, and care can make all the difference.
Taken care of by her daughters. How about that? Very sweet. In the wild.
Have you ever seen a cougar in the wild?
I have. Oh, I've seen a cougar on my front yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't mess with them.
No, I stayed inside.
All right.
Yeah.
James chapter 1, verse 5, a great scripture for you today. If any of you lacks wisdom, which is pretty much all of us, you ever done dumb things?
Oh, boy.
There you go. So if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach. See, we do serve a liberal God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, and you asked me if I've ever done anything stupid as I sit here in this booth. What? Thanks so much.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Being in business is challenging. At Network in Action Southern Oregon, we're all about real connection and real growth. We value your time with once-a-month meetings and believe in transformational relationships rather than transactional ones. We have 3 groups in the Valley, a Christian group, a Medford group, and a Grants Pass group, all filled with amazing local professionals. Network in Action Southern Oregon, so much more than just networking. Find out more at sonetworking.com.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV. You're watching the Dove TV, encouraging and informative for Chico and the North State. Seen on KKRM 11, Channel 21, and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Thursday. We like to sneak ahead and call it Friday Eve. And Jerry is full of energy because he pulled an all-nighter.
I did. I had an all-nighter.
Explain that.
Well, you know, that term really changes as we age. It used to mean a completely different thing when I was 18 or 20.
Yeah.
Now it means that I actually slept all night long. I went to bed and I didn't open my eyes until my alarm went off.
Not even
I pulled an all-nighter.
Not even to...
Nothing. Now I had to run when I got out of bed. But I made it all the way through. And so it's amazing the energy level.
You did this?
It's amazing the energy level you get when you actually sleep all night long.
There you go.
Good morning.
Yeah. I was going to say, you put some Jet A on your cereal this morning. All right, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. A lot going on in the news. There always is. We'll have that for you. And a variety of things going on in the news today. The weather is turning to a warmer season.
Yeah. Yes, we got that
and bright.
drying and warming. This is a nice trend.
We got some low clouds hanging around the edges this morning, but that'll go away as the sun pops up. So.
Yep.
Anything special?
Well, first of all, it is National Lost Dog Awareness Day, increasing awareness concerning missing dogs, and it also celebrates our reunions. And if you've ever missed or lost your dog and you got him back, you know that's a big celebration. But it also brings up the conversation about chipping your dogs, putting in microchips these days. Now, we've talked about chipping humans. And we are violently opposed to it. Well, we are vehemently opposed to it. Let me put it that way. Because, you know, we talk about the mark of the beast. Oh, yeah. Well, let me ask you. Is it the mark of the beast if you chip the beast?
Well, as I said earlier, I'm beginning to think about it. So let's say you chip your dog.
Yeah.
Okay, our dog's chipped. Okay.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard of anybody that's used a chip to find a lost dog. Not to say it hasn't happened. I just haven't witnessed it.
Right, yeah.
But why, we have lost your phone. Why can't we put that chip and connect it to an app on your phone?
Well, you actually can. It's called Find My Friends. Yeah. And there's also a lost phone thing on there. And Pam has found mine more than once. Okay. Because, you know, we share that data, the Find Friends. Yeah. And so I'll ask her all the time. I'll say, I can't find my phone. Well, where am I? And she'll look on her phone. She'll say, well, your phone's at home.
Okay.
Like, okay, you left it at home. Okay, what room's it?
Okay, but why can't we do that with a dog and a chip?
I don't think you can. Well, that's a good question because they only use chips, I think, for dogs for ID, not for location. Why can't they put that in? That's a great question. Well, I think you have a new product.
Okay, well, let's back it up, make it easy.
Okay.
Put it on your dog collar.
Why not?
Just whatever that device is in your phone.
But let me
put it on your dog collar.
Has your dog ever lost its collar?
Yeah, but very rarely.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, if you had a dog collar that would talk to the app on your phone, you know where your puppy is.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Well, that's a great question. And when is AI going to come into all this?
That's probably already there.
Yeah, it probably is.
Well, you know, Steve Harvey every once in a while ask kids questions.
Yes.
You ever see him?
Oh, yeah.
So he asked a kid the question the other day, who do you think is the smartest person in the world is? And you know what that little girl said?
No.
Siri.
Look at you. Thank you. Look at you.
Siri is AI. It's the voice of AI.
It is the truth. All right. It is also National Administrative Professionals Day, also known as Secretary's Day or Administration Day, recognizing the professionals who keep an office running smoothly every single day. So our hats off to you. How many secretaries or administrative assistants do you have around here?
5. Ask me if I have.
How do you juggle all that?
Ask me if I have any say-so.
How does the committee decide things around here? Okay, National Take a Chance Day. It encourages us to...
I take a chance by hiring all 5 of them.
You did.
Actually, I hired 4 of them. So.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Well, this encourages us to step out of our comfort zone. Be careful where you step, though. Also, it's National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Let's get into the real stuff
here. Yeah, the real stuff, right. And, of course, most cakes have a crumbly texture, but not cheesecake. It's nothing like cake. It's creamy, thick, pudding-like character. It comes from the soft cheese used as the main main ingredient. And of course, topped with cherries, maybe a little whipped cream. What could be wrong with that?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yes, so we'll enjoy that. And you can even take it along on a picnic, because it is National Picnic Day. Picnics have long histories, dating all the way back to the Middle Ages, when feasts and outdoor gatherings were a common form of entertainment. And in its early usage, the term picnic was actually used to describe a communal meal where each participant would contribute a dish. Sounds like a potluck.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a potluck picnic. And Victorians embraced picnics as a way to escape the constraints of their formal society and reconnect with nature. And of course, sandwiches are big in picnics, and they became a staple picnic food in the 19th century thanks to the invention of the sliced bread machine by Otto Friedrich Rohwedder in 1928. Sandwiches became easy to prepare and transport for outdoor dining. Enjoy your picnic.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Well, here's a guy that's been on a picnic most of his life.
Here's a look at our weather from Grange Co-op. With conditions trending drier and warmer, today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Continuing down the Willamette Valley with clearing skies to mostly sunny and daytime highs in the low 60s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene, with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies today across central Oregon with high temperatures in the low 60s for Prineville and Bend and upper 50s around Sun River. Mostly sunny and breezy in Boise, Idaho with a high in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny skies this morning along the Oregon coast, then clearing and becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 50s from Coos Bay through Port Orford, Brookings, and down to Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, partly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin, then becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 60s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 63 in Klamath Falls. Into northern California, becoming sunny in upper 60s in Wairika, sunny skies in Redding and Chico with highs near 75, and sunny over in Fort Bragg with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny in Santa Rosa and Napa with highs near 72, sunny in San Francisco with a high in the upper 60s, and patchy fog in San Jose, then clearing to sunny in 68. For Central California, sunny skies from Sacramento south through Stockton, Modesto, Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield. Daytime high temperatures will be in the low to mid-70s. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
I had a little bit of a shot of our backyard as the sun's coming up, and that is to the northeast. That's Mount Pitt, better known as Mount McLaughlin. A few clouds, sun's kind of between the two, and you can still see a little moisture clouds down below.
Yep.
So all that'll dissipate as the sun comes up.
Clearing, drying, and warming.
There we go.
It's a nice trend. All right. Well, oftentimes we kind of get wrapped up in the things, or maybe even the thing that we want. But have you ever considered what God wants? Here with a great message is Pastor Anthony George.
Jesus said to him, verse 27, he said to Thomas, reach your finger here, look at my hands, reach your hand here, put it to my side, and look what I've underlined in the text. I wonder if you'd read it out loud with me. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. Do you see what Jesus wanted more than anything else from Thomas? Jesus wanted faith. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. This is about faith, and faith is the one thing that God desires from us above all else. I heard someone say years ago that the one thing that pleasures the heart of God more than anything else is simply to be trusted. And I've learned to believe that with all my heart. Speaking of education, that was tongue-in-cheek. I believe in education, but I'm here to tell you, faith in God can open doors education can never open. I also believe in positive thinking, but positive thinking doesn't move mountains. Faith is what moves mountains. I also believe in counseling and therapy. I've had my share. But counseling and therapy cannot unleash the supernatural miracle-working power of God into your life. Faith can do what counseling cannot do. You see, we can be without a lot of things in our lives and still please God, but the Bible says without faith it is not unlikely that you can please God, but Hebrews 11:6 says without faith it is impossible to please God.
Faith is the currency of heaven.
Yeah.
Down here, it takes dollar bills. Up there, it takes faith. And if you're going to move heaven in your direction, the currency of heaven is faith. The writer of our devotional, Bob Gass, I heard him preach a sermon on that. And so typical of him, he could turn it into a hilarious moment. But the point being is, he preached hard that without faith, it's impossible to please God. And what is faith? Things that you don't see and things that you hope for. And you got to believe that God is God and His Word is true and that Jesus is real and He did shed His blood for you. You got to believe all that stuff. Okay, and then engage it by faith, and faith is the currency of heaven. Now, between the prayer and the answer, God makes the saint. So from the time you pray and you get the answer, you're being developed.
All right.
And the first thing you're going to learn, the very first thing you're going to learn, the hardest thing ever to learn, the very first thing you're going to learn,
I'm waiting,
is patience.
I struggled to wait. You're right, though.
There you go.
100%.
That's my sermon. Send the offering.
There we go. It's time.
Quickly.
I'll
We
get
need
the
it.
plate.
Okay. Anyway, all right, let's take a look at some of the top stories over the weekend, weekend. It seems like a weekend. The last 24 hours. Well, listen, a big deal. This is a big deal. Virginia passed a gerrymandering district redistricting of the state day before yesterday, and basically turned Virginia into a complete blue state with less than 9% of the state being represented by Republicans. And I told Jerry, we were talking about this yesterday, the only way this is going to be overturned, it's got to get before the court. Well, guess what? A judge picked it up late last night and blocked it. And moving forward to certify, they blocked moving forward certifying the results of the special election regarding redistricting referendum that could possibly allow Democrats to gain control of the congressional seats. So they looked at it and realized, and it's called the Tazewell Circuit Court Judge Jack Hurdley issued yesterday and explained that the process underlying the referendum broke several state laws and that certifying the vote would harm Republican lawmakers in the state. Now, this is, I'm telling you folks, this is so big. It sounds very political. President Obama was there championing, and President Obama was saying to the press, we have to do this because the Republicans are known for cheating the system to favor Republicans. Now, folks, understand this because it'll help you. It'll help you to understand people. If you understand people, you can tolerate them. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them. But the Democrats get an A+++++++, and blaming you for what they do.
Yes.
And that's exactly what's going on here. And the fact that a judge stepped in is pretty amazing. Now, the question is, can they tie this up in court so it doesn't take effect between now and the midterms?
Whoa. Yeah, I wonder.
This is a huge ruling. Now, next will be California. Next will be Texas. Same kind of baloney's going on. California, you know, and their big ruling. And then on top of California, they have this wealth tax they want to put in. So we'll see what the voter turnout is. In the meantime, there's another little bit of a victory here where the GOP seems to have a backbone these days, which is kind of good. The Senate Republicans voted largely yesterday to defeat another Democratic sponsor war powers resolution to stop the president from whatever he's doing in Iran. Now, guess who was the lonely Democrat that voted for it?
Oh, John Fetterman.
John Fetterman.
Yeah.
Now, look, when you listen to I saw some of the argument this morning. The only conclusion you can walk away with is that the Democrats are for Iran staying in existence.
Yes. How did they?
For the regime to stay in existence.
How did they jump onto the side of Iran and the regime? How did this happen?
Well, I think it's only one thing. It's the
Trump derangement syndrome?
Yes, it's the TDS.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the only thing it is. I mean, what else would motivate nonsense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, but the Republicans stayed up all night and stopped it. God bless them.
Yes. Yeah.
So those are some of the top stories on this morning. In the meantime, the president has said we will halt the ceasefire until Iran comes to the table with a responsible proposal. They say it could happen tomorrow. We'll see. And the proposal has to include denuking. So a lot of complaints about the president not doing something here, because every time there's a pause in any kind of activity, it's a reload for Iran.
Yes.
But what are they reloading with, and who is reloading what?
Right, yeah.
You got to remember that Israel has done most of the intelligent work as it relates to actual individuals in the regime. And Israel's reporting now that there seems to be a significant rift between the military side and the political side.
Okay.
And who's calling the shots, they just don't. And who will come to the table?
Yes, okay.
They just don't know.
And we keep hearing this conflict being referred to in card game terms. and
that is kind of funny.
It is. I mean, we hear it over and over
I have
again.
2 kings and I have 3 aces.
The president holds the trump card. Yeah, anyway, but I heard Carolyn Leavitt, the White House spokesperson, speak again and saying that basically the president is really holding all the cards, yet the Strait of Hormuz is still closed. And that seems to be a pretty big card in the hand of the Iranians.
Yeah.
But how are they closing it? Are they running these little Toyotas out with a missile launcher on the back out of a tunnel, and then shooting at a ship, and then backing it back into the tunnel while they wait for the next move? How's it working, and how do you take them out?
Okay, I can't answer all that. I don't know, but I think there's a couple things here that are interesting to note.
What?
One is those little ships are like the old PT boats.
Okay, yeah.
They're fast.
Yeah.
Okay. And they actually become target practice for...
the gunboats that the Iranians run. Okay. So it could be boats and Toyotas?
Well, on the ground, Toyotas. Okay, but in the hills alongside the straits...
Yes.
Back in the hills are missile launchers.
Okay.
Okay. So they know that. And the strait has been equipped with mines. I thought we were going in with mine
sweepers
and get them out, but apparently we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think it's strategic.
Okay.
And I think what the president is trying to show the world is that we have done everything to give them a chance to not only come to the table, but become reasonable citizens of the world and protect their people. Okay, well, the answer is they're not that. They're a death cult. They kill their own people. So before they finish the job, I think they want to show the world they've tried everything.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's also exposed some things.
What?
NATO's weakness.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think NATO has... I don't know if they have fatally wounded themselves, but boy, they are in ICU.
Yeah, yes. And does it show the true colors of countries like Spain and France?
No, it's so horrible.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all this is strategic. We'll see how it plays out. All right, let's take a look at Wall Street. No, that's not it. What am I doing here?
Yeah, where are we?
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're going to go a little break, huh?
Well, that cheesecake thing threw me off.
Hey, I'm on track. I all-nightered it last night, so you know.
So that means what? You're just like riding high today?
Everything's firing. Everything on all the cylinders, you know. Nothing's missing.
Oh, yes. No,
look at my
There's
leg.
Something missing down there. Okay.
Okay, that's a good point.
All right, we'll be right back.
Thanks a lot.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Ministries on the Move spotlights how God is using everyday people and organizations to bring light, love, and transformation to others through inspiring conversations and real-life stories. Join me Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on theDove TV.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great. And the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort. And the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Today, become a farmer with the Dove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at the Dove.
How y'all doing out there? Happy Thursday.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
A couple things. Well, there was a poll out the other day, and I had to chuckle. In fact, I looked at two places to make sure this was somewhat a true story.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Well, there's a current poll out that former Vice President Kamala Harris beats California Governor Newsom by 1 point.
Oh my goodness!
In a matchup today for the presidency, for the DNC nomination.
Okay.
That is a bad day for Newsom.
I think so. Yeah.
That's a bad day. You can only hope that Harris gets back into it.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you about that. What would you think if she got?
She's probably believing her own press releases.
Yes, that's a great point.
Nobody else believes her.
Oh, right.
So she's reading her own promos.
Yes.
Okay. So she could. But anyway, in the meantime, Governor Newsom was exposed with something. And folks, listen to these numbers this morning.
Okay.
The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, covertly spent $1 billion importing 400,000 migrants from poor countries to serve in the state's democratic political machine and elite-dominated economy. Now, the next part of this story needs to be understood. These organizations don't look at blue or red. They look at human beings that are in need.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up being used by the governor.
Yeah.
So he gave $250 million to Catholic charities. Well, the Catholics are going to go out there and bring in people and certainly take care of them. That's their mission.
Yeah.
He gave $85 million to Jewish Family Services, $12 million to Centro League de la Raza, $23 million to the Immigration Institute of the Bay Area, $110 million to major Latino political organizations and the Coalition of for Humane Immigrant Rights in Los Angeles. It ended up being $1 billion of money, of taxpayer money from California that is about 48 days away from bankruptcy to get 400,000 illegal immigrants into the system cared for by these charitable organizations, which then in turn vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So he got caught. And I don't know how in the world he's going to explain this one away.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Pretty nasty stuff.
Oh, my.
The other thing is I need to remind you that coming up on the 28th, today is the 23rd, so coming up on the 28th, it's the last day in the state of Oregon to register to vote. Now, the question I have for you is this. Do you know that you're registered? If you are registered, did you like the ballot you got last time in the primary? A lot of people were upset, and that's because they registered as independent, and they didn't get to vote for the people they want to vote for.
Oh, yeah, right.
Now, for the primary, for the primary, you may have to re-register to vote if you want to vote for a certain person who's a member of one of the major parties.
Okay.
So you may have to re-register Democrat or Republican to get the ballot that you want.
Let me ask you this. You know, speaking of re-registering, if I've been registered before, what would cause me to be dropped out of the registration rolls and make it a necessity for me to re-register?
Well, you wouldn't be dropped out unless you've moved.
Okay. Yeah.
You changed your name.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You died.
Okay.
All those could be arranged.
But not breaking your leg or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
That's close.
Okay. So chances are, though, especially if I voted in the last election, I'm still registered, right?
Yes.
Okay. But how do you check?
You can go online.
Okay.
You can go online to your county clerk's office, look up your name and see if you're registered. And if you don't like the way you're registered, then re-register and get it done before the 28th so you can get a good ballot. Now, the voters' pamphlets are going to come out. And remember, thank God, and boy, I can tell you that when I was chairman, I really fought this. We are a closed primary state. We better pray that we never become an open primary state. Okay, so if you want to vote for a candidate that's either a Democrat or Republican, but you're registered as an independent, you're going to get a primary ballot with their name not on it.
Right.
So you may have to re-register your party affiliation, okay? Secondly, we have got to vote down this gas tax thing.
Yeah.
To be on the ballot.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, the 28th is the last day to register to vote. If you change your name, if you move, and you don't like your party affiliation, or at least you're registered in a way that you're not going to get the ballot you want, you need to re-register and go online or go down to the county clerk's office, whatever you got to do. Folks, be responsible. Do this, okay?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at Wall Street. On this, here it is, a Thursday morning. Thank you, Preston. Smart Lawn. Look at this job he did right behind us. Look at this.
It's beautiful.
All right, the Dow's down 184 today. The Nas is off 112, and the S&P down almost 12 points. So red ink at the ringing of the bell this morning. Let's see what that's done to the other numbers that are out there as we check in with gold is down 47.47, silver's at 76, and crude oil, of course, went up $102, almost $103 a barrel. Did you see the interview where somebody asked one of the key administrators of the oil producing there in the Middle East, what does it cost the average Middle East country to produce a barrel of oil?
Okay.
Have any idea what it is?
Nope.
He said $2.
$2? Oh, that's interesting.
That's what he said.
That's interesting.
So let's say it's under $5.
Wow. That's weird because that flies in the face. I was reading this that basically that the oil companies can't make any money less than $60 a barrel. That's kind of the
That's the refinery side.
Okay.
Okay. You come over here, you go to over there where they're just sucking it out of the ground.
Okay.
He's saying it's costing them under $5, usually around $2 to do it. And I don't know if that's real, but isn't that amazing?
That's shocking, yeah.
They're all driving Rolls Royces, you know?
Yeah.
And they're sitting in gold bathtubs and stuff like that, you know?
Oh, say no more.
Okay, so much for all that. All right, there you go. All right.
Okay, well, we're moving on. I'm kind of sitting in shock with all of that.
That's all right.
Well, I'm also a little
play
shocked
golf
about
on
this.
the smart lawn back here. Or land an airplane on it or something.
Hey, question. Are we a nation of laws or not?
We're supposed to be.
Yeah. How come is it that some people decide, well, you know, if we don't agree with this law, we're not going to uphold those?
That's called lawlessness.
Right. So, you know, in some cases, we're not a nation of laws. And I think where that really kind of rears its ugly head is in the sanctuary city policy that many cities adhere to in this country, where and a lot of us are, you know, pretty much opposed to this kind of a situation. And this is playing out in Houston, Texas. And Houston, Texas, another liberal bastion inside of a red state, has had sanctuary city policies. Well, it is flying in the face of Governor Greg Abbott, who says, no, this is wrong, and he has found some recourse how to get the Houston City Council kind of back on track because they get state money. And they have received state money that Greg Abbott says, wait a minute, if you're going to do this, you might be paying us back. Listen in to the governor of Texas.
If the city council was serious about public safety, they would not allow illegal immigrants to roam their streets and kill people like Jocelyn Nungary. There are other people like that in Houston who've been raped, assaulted, and victimized by people who are here illegally and allowed to roam the streets. Second, and importantly, the city of Houston signed an agreement to get money from the state of Texas that required Houston to comply with the Department of Homeland Security programs about detaining illegal immigrants. After already getting $110 million from the state under that agreement, Houston is now trying to renege on their obligations. The contract clearly said that the failure to comply will require Houston to return all of the money that it got from the state of Texas, which amounts to approximately $110 million. Importantly, the requirement to return the money does not mean defunding the police. I signed a law to prevent cities from defunding the police. Under that law, Houston will have to find the funds elsewhere to fully fund the police. The law that I signed specifically says that grants do not count toward a city's funding of the police and does not eliminate their need to come up with the money to fully fund the police. So they're going to be out $110 million. And then after that, they still have to find ways to fully fund the police in Houston the way they are today. Otherwise, they're going to be in violation of another law in the state of Texas.
Well, he's figured out a way to beat the system. Well, I say beat the system, to use the system to stop this nonsense.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened in Virginia last night. They were trying to pull a fast one. A judge stepped in and said, you guys are breaking state laws. You know, we've lost the respect of the rule of law. And if we don't have it, then you got anarchy. So I'm glad to see him step up. He was a little soft at the beginning with all these border crises things.
Yeah.
But he's kind of come to the party now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's some of the top stories on this Thursday morning. We'll take a quick cherry cheesecake break.
Yeah.
Mushy.
And if the road gets rough, just keep your head up. Let the world see what you're made of. That His love's alive in your deepest part.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming. All right, good morning to you. 26 minutes before the top of the hour on a beautiful Thursday. Look at that sun out there popped out. So that little cloud over the top of us is getting burned off. Yeah. Look at that. Isn't that nice?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we put a window in our studio. We can actually see outside now.
It's nice.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, I love it.
All right, let's check in with CBN News because, well, the United States is kind of waiting for Iran's answer to the blockade. And what are they going to do? They come to the table tomorrow? Well, we'll see. Let's check in with Chris Mitchell and the folks at CBN News.
Iran's takeover of cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz is heightening tensions in the region as questions remain about whether Tehran will return to the negotiating table. President Donald Trump is pressing for a unified response from Iranian leaders to a proposed peace framework. According to the White House, Iran is facing intense pressure as its government struggles under severe economic strain, describing the regime as weakened and nearing financial collapse.
Operation Economic Fury continues, and the effective and successful naval blockade continues as well of ships and vessels that are moving to and from Iranian ports. We are completely strangling their economy through this blockade. They're losing $500 million a day.
Officials indicate Tehran may have a short window, possibly just days, to present its response. The expectations include a halt to nuclear ambitions, an end to support terrorism, and a cessation of threats to key waterways like the Strait of Hormuz. In return, the framework suggests the possibility of economic recovery and stability for the Iranian people, who have endured decades of hardship under the current regime. The administration maintains that despite ongoing diplomatic efforts, the pressure campaign remains firmly in place as it awaits Tehran's next move. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back on reports of a firm deadline.
I know there's been some anonymous sourced reporting that there was maybe a 3 to 5 day deadline. That is not true. The president has not set a deadline himself. Ultimately, he will dictate the timetable.
Meanwhile, a U.S. intelligence official said Iran still has thousands of missiles and drones that can threaten the U.S. and Israeli forces. In southern Lebanon, the Iran-backed Hezbollah launched rockets at Israeli forces, violating a fragile ceasefire. The Israel Defense Forces responded, striking the launcher. In a separate development, Israeli troops working in close coordination with the local Christian community in the southern Lebanese village of Dabel replaced a statue of Jesus at a local church that had been damaged by an IDF soldier. The IDF says its northern command acted promptly after receiving reports of the incident, helping facilitate the restoration. Military officials stated they are taking steps to ensure similar incidents do not happen again. Joshua Swanson, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell is here with us now in studio. So, Chris, what is Israel's view of the effectiveness of this blockade with Iran?
Well, I think when they look at the blockade and they realize, as Caroline Leavitt said, that $500 million a day is not going into the coffers of the Iranian economy, I think they see that as a positive, that it continues to weaken the regime. And remember that Israel has a desire to see regime change, and they made it official as opposed to the U.S. So anything that can weaken the Iranian economy, anything that can advance a possibility of a regime change, I think is a very good thing in the minds of Israel. And so that's what they want to see. They don't necessarily trust the regime right now and any sort of negotiations, and that would keep the regime in place.
If the Islamic Revolutionary Guard is the most powerful element in the Iran's government, what are the chances the U.S. or Israel will be able to get an acceptable agreement?
Well, it seems less and less if the IRGC is in charge. And they seem, as we reported yesterday, they had ballistic missiles in the heart of Tehran. They've seized 2 ships, attacked 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz. And they seem to be the ones that are controlling the narrative right now, as opposed to sort of like the president of Iran that may be more pragmatic and may want a negotiated settlement. So it looks like the IRGC is in control right now. It seems like they're more provocative. They may be more hardline, and they want to make sure that that they don't necessarily budge on the 3 things: the nuclear issue, the ballistic missiles, and also funding the proxy. So any way that the IRGC is in control, it seems less likely that there may be a negotiated settlement, and more likely, perhaps, that we may be seeing war. Whether or not that's in 3 to 5 days or more, that's certainly an option. And what the U.S. is doing is bolstering the military right now in the region. I think they'll have 3 aircraft carrier strike groups in the region. That's probably unprecedented, but all the tools militarily that the president would need to go back to war.
How significant is it that the deadline for Iran keeps getting pushed back? Does this give them room to prepare to continue fighting?
Yeah, it does. They can prepare their ballistic missiles. They can hide them more if they want to. We see that they do have these fast boats in the Strait of Hormuz that are attacking some of these ships. But it also gives Israel and the United States time to prepare as well. As I said, they're bringing a massive amount of military into the region on the U.S. side. Israel as well is preparing targets inside Iran that they haven't hit already. So this gives all sides, Iran, the U.S., and Israel, to prepare militarily and for if there is a next round of fighting. They're all getting ready. Certainly, they're mapping out satellite for the U.S. and Israel for any potential targets. But everybody's preparing it. Even though it's a ceasefire, militarily, everybody is getting ready for a potential resumption of the fighting.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
The question I would ask is, does Iran have any intelligence left?
Oh, yeah, that's a big question.
I mean, they got to look out the window and see that they're surrounded by Israel and the United States.
Yeah.
But do they themselves have any intelligence? Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, you're talking about intelligence. What kind of?
Don't do it to
Look at this guy.
Here's a look at our weather from Grange Co-op. With conditions trending drier and warmer, today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, decreasing clouds becoming sunny with highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville. Continuing down the Willamette Valley with clearing skies to mostly sunny and daytime highs in the low 60s from Salem through Albany, Corvallis, and Eugene with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Sunny skies today across central Oregon with high temperatures in the low 60s for Prineville and Bend and upper 50s around Sun River. Mostly sunny and breezy in Boise, Idaho with a high in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny skies this morning along the Oregon coast, then clearing and becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 50s from Coos Bay through Port Orford, Brookings, and down to Crescent City, California. In southern Oregon, partly sunny in the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin, then becoming sunny with highs in the mid to upper 60s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 63 in Klamath Falls. Into northern California, becoming sunny in upper 60s in Wairika, sunny skies in Redding and Chico with highs near 75, and sunny over in Fort Bragg with a high in the mid-50s. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then sunny in Santa Rosa and Napa with highs near 72. Sunny in San Francisco with a high in the upper 60s, and patchy fog in San Jose, then clearing to sunny in 68. For Central California, sunny skies from Sacramento south through Stockton, Modesto, Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield. Daytime high temperatures will be in the low to mid-70s. It's a snapshot of your Thursday weather from Grange Co-op.
A look back in time. Oh, we love to do this. And isn't it interesting that as we look around the world and we see different kinds of governments, and some governments are repressive, and communist governments come to mind, and sometimes communist governments want to give a little bit of Western flavor to their citizens, and it usually involves McDonald's. And it happened on this day in history in Beijing, China.
On April 23, 1992, McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Beijing, China, and the response was overwhelming. On opening day alone, more than 40,000 customers poured through the doors, setting a company record at the time. The location wasn't small either. It was the largest McDonald's in the world, with hundreds of seats designed to handle massive crowds. For many in China, this wasn't just about food, it was a glimpse of Western culture and a brand new dining experience. Customers lined up for hours, eager to try items like the Big Mac and fries, which quickly became symbols of a changing, modernizing nation. More than 3 decades later, that first restaurant helped spark a fast food boom across China. McDonald's now has over 6,000 locations in China with the goal of 10,000 locations by 2028. Proof that sometimes a single opening day can make global history.
2 all-beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
Okay. I remember that. I remember that. It was phenomenal.
Can you imagine 40,000 customers in one day?
Did they have that many patties?
That would even challenge Chick-fil-A, and they know how to move crowds.
Well, this was a big deal. But look, I have one question about McDonald's. I realize they have the super Big Mac-y thing.
Yeah.
And you like the fish fillet.
Yeah, you bet.
But there's two items that McDonald's produce that it's kind of got, everybody likes them. It's the fries and the coffee.
Absolutely, because they are top notch. Both of them are.
So what is it? What is it about the McDonald's fry and the McDonald's coffee?
I don't know. The texture of the fry is really, really good, and the flavor is really good. And I did read a little insider thing. An ex-employee said they put like beef tallow, a little bit of beef flavoring in the grease for the fries.
Oh.
So it gives it a little extra flavor, but the texture is wonderful. I have found a secret, though. You know, I like filet of fish.
Yes.
But I don't really like going to a fast food restaurant and having something sitting in a bin and it's keeping warm, and then you order it and they bring it out to you in like 30 seconds because it's been sitting there a while. But if you order a double filet of fish, they never have it sitting there, so they have to make it. So you usually wait a little longer because they have to make the filet of fish.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what happens sometimes is they scoop up the fries and they put it on the side while they wait. And then I get it, and they're cool, and they're a little soft.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. But
you need counseling?
A little bit. Yeah, but tomorrow, maybe I won't sleep as well tonight. Okay. I'll need it tomorrow.
It could hurt you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, a quarter before the hour. So, are students using AI to do their homework?
I would imagine.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Will Witt with PragerU, he went to Cal State University to ask the question.
Okay.
Ta-da! Here you go.
What's up, guys? This is Will Witt back on the streets for PragerU. Today we are at CSUN asking students what they think about ChatGPT and AI. Let's do it. Now, you got to be honest with me, okay? No lying. You use ChatGPT, AI for homework, assignments, things like that?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I'm a computer science major, so I use it a lot to help me with concepts I don't really understand.
You ever feel guilty using it? Like, man, I could really do this myself, but you have a robot doing it?
No, I don't feel guilty because I'm learning in the process.
Sometimes, yeah, it does make me feel guilty.
Do you see a lot of students on campus using it for cheating and stuff like that?
Yeah, I used to, or I mean, I know.
We won't tell anyone. We won't tell anyone.
I mean, you know, teach their own. You know, I'm not going to snitch or anything like that, but it's going to be on them, right? If they don't understand the material when it comes to like testing and stuff like that.
Does AI in the future and everything like that, does that scare you at all, what the capabilities could be?
I'm excited. I'm excited for it, yeah.
I'm actually very excited to see what's happening.
Our generation as a whole already has social issues, and the fact that people willingly talk to robots doesn't help at all. It's just making it worse. The robot doesn't challenge your current beliefs. All it really does is kind of just validate the perspective that you have, which leads to more egocentric views and nonsense.
What do you think about AI girlfriends? Would you ever get an AI girlfriend?
No, I think that's very damaging to like the social fabric of our society. So absolutely not.
Would you ever have an AI boyfriend?
No.
No?
No.
How come?
Because I feel like people can be more emotional than AI.
No.
How come?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird to look towards technology for something physical.
I mean, there's already like games like that anyways, so I guess it wouldn't be emotionally sure, maybe.
There's a lot of people who are doing it now. You know, they get that sense of validation. They're very insecure. Someone's telling them everything you want.
That's not fun. I'm the last type of guy to just want that.
Why do you think someone would go and get an AI girlfriend?
Oh man, maybe loneliness. Maybe like if you're socially awkward, you may resort to that. You know, it might be more compelling than actually going out and try to make a conversation, you know, especially now these days. But yeah, it's not a good thing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, and share this video with your friends. Thanks, guys.
I probably wouldn't have an AI boyfriend, but I can see the appeal. Yeah. I can definitely see the appeal.
Me too. Not for a boyfriend, girlfriend.
To make that clear.
Are you kidding me? Huh?
Okay, so you know you can go to Chat. You can go to
ChatGPT.
a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I've been watching this because students are admitting they're using it.
Right.
Why not?
Well, exactly.
Okay, so
yes.
Is it going to get you through college without really learning anything?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the guys said the only way that I can get around it, because I talked to my professor, and my professor knows that I don't talk like Chat would write for me.
Right. Yes.
So I asked Chat, please write my term paper like a dumb student.
There you go.
And it came out.
Yes, in his language. Yes, I love it. Well, how about the boyfriend-girlfriend thing?
Well, I don't know.
Have you noticed, if you've done any communicating with chat, that AI really tells you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
No wonder people want boyfriends and girlfriends.
It's false. It's totally false.
It is.
Well, it's like AI Jesus.
Right. Oh, you know, I don't know much
totally
about
false.
this. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway, one thing that AI cannot replace.
What?
Cherry cheesecake. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives. Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Historic leaders. Moments to remember. Go back in time. Back in the day. TV shows of the past. Nostalgia.
It's a wonderful trip down memory lane with fun and interesting stories you might not know about. Relive the past and learn something new.
Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
Mornings on the Dove covers important issues,
but we also take the time to have some fun.
along with encouragement, the day's forecast, and Jerry's Day in History.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us weekday mornings on the Dove. Okay, welcome back. 8 minutes before the top of the hour, had Megan Barth on. And of course, you know, California has had this open primary, and they're going into their primary election in May. And you got all these, 12 Democrats running and 2 Republicans. Mm-hmm. And the way the primary works there, at the end of the day, at the end of the primary, the 2 top vote getters will run off in November. Yeah. Right now, it's a high probability that they could be Republicans. So I asked Megan, I said, is it possible that California could get a Republican governor? And here's what she had to say.
You know, it is. It again comes down to voter turnout, and I have been kind of signaling a warning. And I'm also covering Nevada and Arizona, so we do cover not beyond California, but I'm covering the swing states, and this is from my perspective of those swing states as we go into the midterms. When you look at all the No King rallies, no matter how funded they are, no matter how astroturf they are, the fact is that those people are angry enough, and they are going to come out to vote in the midterms, and they are going to vote against President Trump, even though he's not on the ballot, which means that they are going to vote against any Republican, period. And so that No Kings rallies, those rallies, are their motivation for the midterms. What is our motivation for the midterms?
Yeah, good point.
So President Trump, months ago, I think it was right after he was elected, kind of floated the idea that he was going to do midterm rallies. Now he's coming to Nevada this week. I think he's coming down to Las Vegas this week. And so it seems like maybe that's the initial part of the midterm rallies, but Republicans are going to have to do a lot better job to inspire their base to get out the vote. And certainly John Thune is not helping. especially when nearly 80% of Americans want voter ID in their elections. Which brings me to my last point. California voter rolls are so incredibly filthy that I question any and all elections in California and the legitimacy of those.
Wow. Wow.
Well, look, the reality is, wake up, folks.
Yeah.
And realize they're more motivated than we are.
Yep.
They hate him so much that they'll vote anything that has an R in front of it.
She put it well there, what's going to motivate them and what will motivate the right.
Yeah,
Oof.
All right.
Bad state. Okay. Well, the wild is a tough place to survive, especially as you get old, but here is a great story of survival through love. At Addo Elephant Park, a blind lioness named Josie defied the odds for more than 5 years. Losing her sight in the wild is usually a death sentence, but Josie wasn't alone. Her 2 daughters stayed by her side, guiding her as she moved, protecting her, and even hunting for her. After making a kill, they would call out so their mother could find them and eat. It's a rare level of care in the animal kingdom where injured animals are often left behind. But together, this small family adapted and survived. Josie lived to 17 years old, remarkable even for a healthy lioness. Her journey came to an end in 2025, but her story remains a powerful reminder. Even in the harshest environments, loyalty, connection, and care can make all the difference.
Well, now that's the true use of the word sanctuary.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There you go.
Good point.
I take with you James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach. Well, there you go. If you're kind of not getting smart today, ask the Lord to help you. All right, we'll be right back.
Jerry, did you know that we're farmers?
Farmers? I knew there was a reason I like overalls.
At the Dove, we plant seeds of hope, truth, and the gospel every day.
And when those seeds land in the right hearts, lives change.
But every harvest needs more hands.
That's where you come in.
Today, become a farmer with the Dove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Your gift reaches someone who needs hope.
Don't wait, join us in this harvest.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at the Dove.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Southern Oregon and the Rogue Valley. Seen on KDOV 18, KDSO 24, and these Dove TV affiliates.
Well, greetings, y'all. We're here in the field.
You're overdressed, man.
I should go get my overalls. Anyway, I'm joined with the two Dove farmers here. Melinda and Jerry are with us today, and you've been seeing them on TV wearing their overalls.
Well, at least one of us.
I tell you what I'm going to do.
Mine were dirty. I've been working in them.
I tell you what I'm going to do.
What?
I'm so out of place.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. You
You can't leave us hanging.
Yes, we can. It's okay. We've done real hard work so far,
Okay,
Jerry.
all right.
So
Yeah.
we can do this.
Okay.
Well, since we'll let him go plow the field.
All right.
We already did that job, didn't we?
Yeah, and that's why my overalls are dirty. I've been out there working. But
Well, I'm so glad that we did, because now it's up to you guys. It's up to you to come and join us and go plant those seeds. Yes.
And you know, those seeds are things that sprout through the course of the year. You plant them now, and you hope they come up quick. But sometimes, you know, seeds being as they are, they take time, and it takes time to come to fruition. Yeah. So, you know, planting this part is very, very important. So we're looking to get the seeds in the ground. It's springtime, and we're waiting for God to do the rest and bring them up.
That's right. And I have a little letter from a gal in Bend that was so sweet. And she said, I love the new set, gorgeous backdrops and scenery. Keep on farming.
All right.
I think that's directed at us.
Yeah.
Plant those seeds and pull out all the weeds, because they are just like sins spreading. So we do need to pull out those weeds.
All right.
We have great sermons. And great sermons can be just like farming and growing crops and raising livestock. We've had some terrific guests lately, so thank you so much, Marianne and Ben. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Your kind words about farming.
Well, we got another one too. Now, does God create static on other stations to bring people here?
I think so.
This is really interesting. We got a letter, and a very nice lady is telling us that she was listening to her favorite country western music station. I've done that, but it had bad static that morning.
Yeah.
So she started looking around on the dial, and all of a sudden, she said she heard something. She heard laughing.
Oh,
I wonder where she. And she was wondering. She stopped because she was wondering what they were laughing about. I wonder how that played out. But anyway, she stayed. She started listening and hearing. And
At
so
86 years old.
Yeah, God works in mysterious ways.
I love it.
So thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we're super excited here at the Dove. The Lord's just given us so many wonderful things. This beautiful set, our control room. We're working on a podcast studio. We have the Studio Insider, which your new issue is mailed out, so you should be receiving it soon. We have our devotional, our Word for You Today devotional, and we have so many avenues of spreading the gospel, and they're all free. They're all free to you. They're free to a friend. You just have to call or fill out a form and let us know where we need to send your devotional or insider to. And please do know also, because we do get some calls on this, that everything is complimentary. That's what our ministry is about, is getting the good news out there to share. And so we won't ask you for any money. So if somebody's asking you and saying that they're the Dove, it's not the Dove, by the way.
Right. And you know, we talk oftentimes about God matching the message with the need. And we have a great testimony here. It was static picnic that brought this lady to our station to listen in. But God works in those ways, and so many times we hear that back to us about matching the message with the need. And it only happens because you stand with us, and you have done it so faithfully for so long. And so we just encourage you to take it to the Lord and see how He's leading you at this time, especially in this season. We're putting the seeds in the ground.
I know, and it's so exciting. I mean, just think what the Lord can do. You just don't know who's listening, who's watching, or who's being shared from a friend, and it just clicks, and they need that song, they need that sermon, they need whatever news, you know, whatever, just that moment. And I just love that God can just to speak into people that way.
And He puts us together as a family, a family in faith. And you know what? As we bump into each other out in the real world out there, you know, we talk about family things. I bump into folks and they say, "Jerry, we're praying for you for your leg and everything." I think, you know, thank you very much. I've never met you before, but it is a family, and so we're just grateful that you're standing with us together in this,
and that we can take care of our faith family and support each other. And also, you know, if you aren't able to give and support the Dove today, if you can just pray for us. You know, the enemy is just out so thick, and he doesn't want to see the Dove succeed. But we know that the Lord's plan is so much bigger, and that all this just needs to be out and being shared. And so if you would at least consider praying for the Dove staff and the Dove ministry itself, we'd be so appreciative of that.
And when my overalls come out of the laundry, I'll put them back on and we'll go out and plant more of those seeds. All right.
No doubt.
Excellent.
No doubt.
All right. Well, thanks for coming back and joining us.
Farmer, huh?
All right.
I forgot about. I should have worn my cowboy hat today. You know, but I didn't. So.
All right.
Well, let me just say to our viewers and listeners, it's been an interesting, fun spring boost, and so many of you have responded, and we're really just humbled by the fact that you would be so giving when everything is tight. But we, in supporting the Dove, you've heard me say it numerous times, only do what the Lord leads you to do, and don't take from your church. We're not here to replace the church. We're here to grow radishes and carrots and lettuce. No, we're planting seeds, and we plant and water, God harvests. And so pray about it. We're going to wrap this up in about a week or so, but you can go right here to these numbers. You can go to the Dove website at thedove.us. That's safe and secure. Or you can call anytime at 541-776-5368, and you can support the Dove that way. But like Melinda was saying and Jerry's saying, I wish you could read some of our prayer requests. I wish you could read some of the comments that we get from all over the place.
Wonderful.
And by the way, the Dove, by God's grace, has expanded. And how do you explain a complicated thing? But we added 3 more stations. We don't own those stations. We're supplying the program for them. But right now, the Dove television side of things, not the radio side, but the television side of things goes from above Portland all the way down through Oregon, down through California, down the Central Valley, over in the Bay Area, and now through Sacramento, down to Lodi, Stockton, Visalia, Fresno, hi Mom, and down to Bakersfield, right? And it's in all those areas. And so when we added up the, they have this thing called rabbit ears. Are you familiar?
Oh, I remember rabbit ears. Yes, we used to have them.
Okay, well, it's also an organization that tracks population for broadcasters. And our footprint on television is a little over 14 million people.
Amazing.
But I can tell you this, the culture has created a hunger for truth. And a hunger for something different than what the world and all of the nonsense is producing. So that's where the Dove comes in through the programming. So thank you for supporting what we do. So been quite a time. And these testimonies, I really love the one about the farmer lady. By the way, do you have that one there?
Yeah. She was 86 when she was
did you say that? 86 years old.
She's
out
89 now, and she's still...
She's out breaking clod dirts up.
I know.
Jerry?
Hey, I'll get back to it.
In your lifetime? But anyway, it's just a great story. She's out harrowing her own field at 80-something years old. And she's tuning her radio. I could just see her in her pick-em-up truck going through the dial and hearing static, and then finds the dove. And who's these two crazy guys laughing?
Yeah, she had to figure out who it was.
Right.
Wow, what a story. So anyway, you never know. You just never know who's linked. By the way, we had a interesting, and how can I paraphrase this and make it short? We heard yesterday that somebody in prison watches the dove faithfully every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just don't know where we're getting in.
Right.
You know, you don't know. So your brother should be out in 2 years.
By the way, he likes the programming. You know, he's probably watching. He's going, wait a minute.
No, but look, thank you for being a part of it. Our goal was 150. First time I mentioned our goal was 150,000. We're a little over 100,000 now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And we are grateful. We don't take that lightly.
No.
But we started this quarter really off. I mean, in all the years of managing the Dove, and I think what it is was the high gas prices, the anxiety of the culture, the war, the uncertainty that all this produces. I talked to about 20 other ministry leaders in Southern Oregon. They were experiencing the same thing. So we're not asking you to do anything other than what the Lord would lead you to do. But for us, we can't be that far down. We got to get back to the budget level so we can move forward with all the things that are in front of us. We've actually stopped doing some things and delayed some things that were on the agenda to do. But we're close now, and hopefully by the end of the month, we'll be back on track and we can move forward with what God called us to do. So you can watch Melinda's show.
Yeah.
I call it Shiny Shoes, but what is it really?
It's called Season to Shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4.
Yeah. So what do all women have in common, Jerry?
Shiny shoes. That's great.
Oh, you too.
That's wonderful.
It's one thing that all women have in common. They all buy shoes. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm not. Anyway, that's an inside joke. But what you guys do today? You're wearing your boots. That's wonderful.
I know. I do have my.
Okay, there you go.
My boots on. Yeah.
And then her hubby Ryan does a show, Ministries on the Move. Which, by the way, if you have a ministry.
Yeah.
And you're in our listening area, that's what that show's for, is for you to get a hold of us. We can bring you in
Bend or California, Idaho, Nevada, it doesn't matter. Give me a call.
Yeah, the technology is there. Just give her a call. She'll line you out and get you on that program as well so that we can give your ministry some airtime as well. So thank you both for planting seeds and watering, and thank you for this beautiful basket.
Yeah.
I know. Isn't it pretty?
Bugs would be happy. Boy, you got the real stuff in there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer. I got the real stuff.
Yeah. Oh, did you mention this?
Yeah, well, the Studio Insider, this is our new issue that's being mailed out today.
Okay.
So you should be receiving it. It's also a digital magazine, so I also email that out if we have your email address. If you don't, please send it to us, call us, and we'll get you on our list. And I'm excited too, Perry. We've been working on a new website.
Yep.
And you guys, it's so exciting because it's so user friendly. It's wonderful. So look for that within like the next 30 days.
Yeah. Or less.
Or less, but just, it's super exciting. Yes. And, you can watch our programs live on there. You can watch our live TV, our radio, and it hooks you up to our podcast.
There you go.
All that. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Time to go hoe some rows. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Thank you. Call anytime, 541-776-5368, or safely and securely online at theDove.us. And thank you for whatever the Lord leads you to do, okay? God bless you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. history. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove.
Okay, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and delighted, been looking forward to having Reagan Wilbanks with us. He is a Gen Z man, that's right, and the leader in a growing national prayer movement entitled Prayer at the Heart. It's an initiative mobilizing Americans across all 50 states to pray for spiritual renewal. Passionate about reaching his generation, Reagan speaks to the rising hunger for faith, community, and the meaning among young people, navigating anxiety and cultural uncertainty. Boy, those are big words, and they are powerful. Reagan, so good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me on the show, Perry.
You bet. Where are you? Where are we talking to you from?
I'm over in North Carolina. So I'm in Asheboro area, just south of Greensboro.
Oh, good, good.
Right by the zoo if you ever want to come visit.
Okay, we will do. All right. Let me say to our viewers, Reagan's website is prayerattheheart.org. And there's the picture of that website, prayerattheheart.org. We've talked about this a lot, Reagan, on the air. I've even had our good friend Dr. George Barna on. I've had a lot of people on that are saying that there is a genuine hunger among young people for authenticity. Is God real? Is there really a heaven? What do you think's behind this?
Yeah, it's interesting, Perry. You think of any generation has formative moments. Experiences, cultural dispositions that help shape what the generation is like. For Gen Z and Gen Alpha, there's at least 4 things that I think are really playing into what they're gravitating towards. You have COVID-19, of course, which was huge. The isolation that caused, the rapid rise in digital technology use. And consequently, the rise in mental health challenges. Thus, we often are named the anxious generation. And then that followed up with the AI boom and this rapid change in the workforce and what's going on. How do we study? What does school look like? All of it's changing so fast, gives way to a lot of anxiety. And once again, reinforces that picture. And what you have, at least from those 2 items, is you have this generation of people who are looking for things that are real when they're facing this isolated world, this world full of what some would call AI plot, things that are quickly created, that are inauthentic. They're moving back, looking for a genuine faith that's found in Jesus Christ.
Okay. Are you guys going to work? We got a little bit of disconnect there. Let me see if I can get that straightened out. We'll look at. Let me just say this while we work on that. prayerattheheart.org is the website. You can go there and track what Reagan is doing as he's mobilizing really prayer across all 50 states and praying for spiritual renewal. And let me just add to that, as you may or may not know, that the Bible is being read from Genesis to Revelation across America. It started last Sunday and it will conclude this coming Saturday evening, and it's being read across the country, so that's a good thing too. Good, Reagan, we got you back. Sorry about that. Let me ask you this. Does your generation feel, I want to ask this carefully, do you feel that we who are ahead of you lied to you?
You know, I wouldn't put it that way. When you think of what our generation is coming into, lie, that's a strong word, but did we come in and maybe expect one thing and now the world looks very different than what we expected? Yes. Is that future or past generations' fault? Probably not. It is the case, though, that things are changing rapidly, that the world doesn't look the same as it did even just 5-6 years ago. And that's leading to people like me and my generation. I'm seeing all the time, they're turning back to the church. They're turning back to Scripture. In the face of this relative truth culture, they're going, where do I find solid truth? Well, I find it in the person of Jesus Christ, which is revealed in the narrative of Scripture, as you see in the Gospel of John. So where are they going? They're going back to liturgy. They're going back to older church traditions. The Eastern Orthodox Church and Catholic Church are experiencing booms, and it's mostly happening in Gen Z and Gen Alpha. They want to find something real. And that's where this prayer mobilization, I think, comes in. They won't know unless they hear the gospel presented. And prayer is a way to open the door. Paul says we pray for a door to be opened and my words to be seasoned with salt so that they might receive the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ.
Well said. Well said. Because the reason I use the word lie is one of the things we have discovered is with your generation, you're maybe subconsciously asking the question, who can I trust?
Sure.
You know, and we know that it's Christ, but if the generations before you left you with a distrust, then it's created a hunger for what is real trust, which can only be found in a relationship with Christ.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. What you see some of is within Gen Z and Alpha, it's interesting because some of the openness seems to be that when you go back just a generation or so to millennials, they pushed against the church. That's a generalization, of course, but you had very much a post-Christian culture there. But now Gen Z and Gen Alpha, many of them aren't raised in the church or raised with the gospel message at all because it's been pushed out of culture. It's been pushed to the fringes. And so Gen Z and Gen Alpha, you could consider a pre-Christian generation. These are people who often haven't heard the gospel articulated in a very clear way. And that gives this radical openness. They're spiritual is the language they would use. But what happens is then they're open to the power of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Who's alive and active, Perry.
Yeah, so well said. I also have come to the conclusion that part of the seeking of your generation is structure in life. I mean, the world is, we're living in a time anything goes and anything's relevant according to you. But faith, whether it's Orthodoxy, Catholic, or, you know, some evangelical faith, it comes with some structure. We do this because the Scripture says this. And that is a drawing card to your generation. Why?
Yeah, it goes back, I think, to some of that rapid change we talked about. Things like the COVID-19 pandemic, when the world was turned on its head. I remember where I was. I was coming back from serving with City of Refuge in Baltimore, and we're hearing the news drip, drip, drip as this COVID thing is happening. Oh, this COVID thing's in America. Oh, this COVID thing is where we are now. It's already crossed the nation. And it just turned the world on its head. And since then, it hasn't really settled down. So, yes, I would agree, Perry. Young generations like mine, we're looking for structure, we're looking for normalcy, and you're going to find that in a God that never changes, and a God who is the same today as he was yesterday and will be tomorrow.
Were you surprised by God? Did he surprise
you? Yeah, I would say many times in my life I've been surprised by God. I love C.S. Lewis's phrase, of course, surprised by joy. When the last couple of years experienced some really challenging times. My wife and I have lost 2 grandmothers, a close mentor, an aunt. There's been a lot of loss and a lot of change, and that's just some of it. And God has surprised me. He's surprised us by joy, with joy. And God often is surprising us. I wonder how he might surprise us during these 50 days from Passover to Pentecost as we pray for 1 million to be saved. What's he going to do? I think he might surprise us again.
You're moved to pray. How did God move on your heart to start this movement?
You know, I want to give credit to where it's due there. My grandfather is the founder of Prayer at the Heart. And he has been in prayer ministry for over 3 decades now. And he was actually overseas with the gentleman who translated for Billy Graham's largest ever crusade, which was in Seoul, South Korea. And he's meeting with him there, and he's awoken in the middle of the night. Clear as day, God says, I want you to mobilize 1 million Christians to pray for 1 million people to be saved between Passover and Pentecost 2026. So that's the origin story. My grandfather going, why me? What do I have to offer? And isn't that so often the case? Is we're not looking at giants anymore. We're looking at God moving through ordinary people, little people, you might say.
Gosh, that's beautiful. So how's it going? 50 states, you got the prayerattheheart.org. How's it going?
It's going well. We've been encouraged. Historically, you look at the Christian movement, and we can be a bit divided, of course. We can be a bit competitive sometimes. You asked, does God surprise me? Has he? We've been surprised at the openness of Christian churches and ministries to work together and say, we want to link arms. We believe this matters. We believe that God wants to move, and he wants to move now. And so there's over a dozen, I believe closer to 24 organizations partnered with us mobilizing, and there's people directly signing up. There's churches who are mobilizing their own congregations to pray and to evangelize. There's whole denominations that have partnered with us in some ways. So we're seeing a lot of activity, and of course we'll be really excited as these days progress to get more of a tally of what those numbers look like.
That's beautiful. A couple other quick questions, Reagan, before I run out of time. Is it true that more young men are being drawn to faith than young women?
Yeah, from the studies and statistics I've seen, there's this uptick, not only in Gen Z, who is now the generation attending church most often every week. It's the first time a younger generation has ever been the one to attend more often than an older generation, but specifically young men, as you noted. So it's really a fascinating thing. God seems to be moving on the hearts of young men and saying, you've got a part to play in this as well. And you've stepped outside of your role as a spiritual leader, and now I'm calling you back.
Okay. So the big question is, maybe yourself or others, but are you sensing, not only are you drawn to faith, Are you sensing a calling to ministry?
I would say so. Well, God, of course, calls us very generally at first. He calls us to love him, to know him, to love others well, and to bear the fruit of the Spirit. And yet there's also sometimes where God gives us specific assignments. And for many years, I've felt this assignment to prayer ministry. Now it's brought me here, where I get to participate in this wider movement, this national movement, to see 1 million people praying, to see 1 million saved. That's exciting. And what I'd want to say to all the people listening is, you too can be 1 in a million. You can be one of the people praying for your one, because God delights every time that even a single soul is saved. Who is your one? You can go and sign up on prayerattheheart.org and join this movement, seeing a nation mobilized and a nation changed.
Something's up, isn't it? I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the Bible's being read from Genesis to Revelation this week. You have your movement. There's the American National Prayer Committee. In fact, we'll be talking to Cynthia here in just a few moments. The president, we have the National Day of Prayer coming up May 7th. And then 10 days later, the president's calling the nation to be rededicated to being one nation under God. All of this, I understand, is the threshold of the 250th birthday of the United States. But nonetheless, there is a genuine spiritual move across America. You sense it?
Absolutely. We're seeing it all over the place. And we're seeing something else interesting, Perry. We're seeing movements that haven't talked to one another even start to get similar ideas. And at first they interact and they go, well, did you take my idea? And then the conversation starts and they realize, no, God has given us the same idea. God is on the move, or as C.S. Lewis would say, Aslan is on the move. There's something stirring and something happening. God's bringing people together who maybe haven't come together in a long time, and he wants to see a nation saved.
That's fascinating. Well, Reagan, you're a delight. Thank you for your patience being with us today. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out his website, prayerattheheart.org. There's a picture of that landing page. Take the challenge. And where's the one? Where's your one? Again, prayerattheheart.org. Thank you, Reagan. God bless you, friend. Let's stay connected.
Thank you, Perry.
Okay. Mornings on the Dove covers important issues,
but we also take the time to have some fun,
along with encouragement, the day's forecast, and Jerry's Day in History.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us weekday mornings on the Dove.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Today, become a farmer with the Dove. Plant a seed, help it grow.
Let's grow something eternal together.
Give today at the Dove.
welcome back. Certainly seems to be a theme here. What an honor to have with us today. Cynthia Scott is the member of the American National Prayer Committee and has led prayer initiatives across Pittsburgh and beyond. Passionate about honoring God and praying for revival in America. She has written numerous prayer guides and is the author of a new book entitled Celebrating God, Our Founder, at America's 250th birthday. You can go to godourfounder.com is the website, and there's a picture of that landing page. Cynthia, good to see you. How are you today?
I am doing really well. Thank you for having me on your show, Perry.
Well, you bet. Obviously, there seems to be a theme here today. A lot going on in the activity of prayer in the United States. As you know, this week the Bible's being read from Genesis to Revelation. I just had Reagan on, and he's with, as you well know, the Pray at the Heart, and here you are representing the America's National Prayer Committee. Kind of an exciting time, don't you think?
It's such an exciting time. I watched that segment, and I loved it, by the way, and I'm familiar with Prayer at the Heart. It's a wonderful ministry.
So tell us about America's National Prayer Committee. What are you guys doing?
Well, you know, America's National Prayer Committee is involved in a lot of things. They are working with the Freedom 250 people to do Rededicate 250, which is the big May 17th rededication of America to the God of the Bible. It really is an amazing thing because America has a history of these public days of prayer and fasting, or prayer and thanksgiving. And so right now, that's a lot of what they're working on.
You describe God as America's founder. I know that's the key to your book. So walk us through your thoughts there.
Well, the book actually started as prayer meetings. And I was leading congregational prayer with my pastor at our church. And the Lord put it on my heart back in COVID, during COVID, to pray for the nation out of the history of the nation. And what I discovered as I started to research God's hand in America was striking. I researched the Pilgrims, the Puritans, education, the First Great Awakening, and then getting into the founding, the Declaration of Independence. And by the time I got there, I realized that God himself was our founder, and he does not get the credit for it. It's not just that he helped the men and women in that founding era. He actually initiated the nation and shaped the thinking with a biblical worldview in advance of our founders fighting for freedom.
There seems to be a genuine interest to return to that, and there also seems to be a very hard headwind to stay away from it. How are you managing that?
You know, I think people are hungry for truth. You mentioned in your earlier segment that there is this hunger among people. And God is getting the attention of Americans at this moment in history by calling us to remember his mighty acts, not just in the Bible, as we're called to do, but also in the founding of America. And people are very interested to hear about what he's done.
Let's go to May 17th. This is really something that's brewing here. And how did this come about, first of all?
You know, I'm not privy to what caused President Trump to call for this particular day. I can tell you that it was originally scheduled to be on the 24th of May. There was a conflict, and it was moved to the 17th, which happens to be the 250th anniversary of the date of the continent of the first Constitutional Congress. I'm sorry, the first Constitutional Congress meeting. And so it's a really important date. And I believe it's God. I believe it's God behind this, because God has called his people in America since the time of the Pilgrims and the Puritans to these public days of prayer. And that we would be doing it at this moment in time, I think it bodes well for America. And that we have a president who would actually step into this role of calling for this day of prayer and fasting. Well, he's not particularly said fasting, but he's called for prayer, is really important to America. We should all pay attention to this.
Well, it's going to happen on the 17th. It's quite a deal. I've been reading a lot about what's going into this. And, you know, this is a stunning moment for America, that we would pause and ask God and reposition ourselves to be one nation under God. And we have to be careful about what God we're describing here. It's the Judeo-Christian God, you know.
Absolutely.
But my mind goes back to, I think it's somewhere around 1954, President Eisenhower began to reinstitute the term "In God We Trust," and that ended up coming back in full force. I long for the day, Cynthia, when a president will go to the podium during the State of the Union address and stop everything and force the national cameras to look 8 feet above his head, because up there, etched in marble, it says, "In God We Trust." Wouldn't that be something?
Yes, absolutely. And we should continue to pray for that. And we should talk about it. You know, part of what I think has happened in America is that some of our history has been censored. And some of the Christian voices are now coming forth and saying, you know what, we need to go back and talk about what God has done in our nation, how we could actually trust him in the past and how we can trust him today.
What do you do and how do you handle this continued thing about God and government to be separated?
Well, that's part of the looking back, is understanding what our founders actually meant by separation of church and state. So they never intended that godly men and women would not hold office and live out their faith in the public square. What they intended is that there would be no governmental oversight of the church in America, or no state-sponsored church. That's what they meant by separation of church and state. But if you think about it, Perry, we all live out our belief system as we go about our jobs and our life. And Christians are no different. God intends for us to live out our belief system wherever he places us. That includes governmental offices, that includes the corporate boardroom, that includes nonprofits, that includes just being with friends in our social settings. So that we would take our faith with us everywhere we go is exactly what the founders meant. But they did not want the church controlled by the state.
Well said. Give us, through your research, what role did prayer play during the American Revolution?
Oh, I love that. You know, when they began to gather, they prayed. They at first, God called the leaders to pray. But remember, that cry for freedom came originally out of the First Great Awakening, when George Whitefield preached. All across this nation, 80% of the colonists heard him. And in churches, they were praying. You know, as I mentioned, throughout our states and throughout the colonies before they became states, the governors would sometimes call for days of prayer and fasting. And there's an incredible example. On April 19th, 1775, the Battle of Lexington, we know what happened in Lexington. But what most people don't know is that 1 month earlier, Governor Trumbull of Connecticut, knowing the tensions in the colonies, called his state of Connecticut to pray. And the date he chose was April 19th, 1775. So we see that God was actually preparing the colonists and shaping the battles through prayer.
All right, let me take a break here. First of all, where can they get their book? You get your book?
On Amazon. The book is available on Amazon or at Redemption Press.
Okay, it's entitled Celebrating God, Our Founder at America's 250th Birthday. There's a picture of the cover of the book, of course, red, white, and blue, by Cynthia Scott, and you can go to the website, godourfounder.com, and there's a picture of that landing page. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
When technology slows you down, your business and your life feels it. That's where Rogue Tech Pros comes in. We provide business technology services, managed IT services, and custom phone systems for businesses and homes. Our award-winning team takes time to understand your unique needs and builds a customized plan to keep your systems running smoothly so you can focus on growing your business while we handle the IT headaches. Find us at roguetechpros.com. roguetechpros.com. We keep IT simple.
Mornings on the Dove covers issues affecting you.
But we also take the time to have some fun and laugh.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And these days, we all need encouragement. Count on Mornings on the Dove to deliver just that from God's Word.
Along with the day's forecast and interesting stories from Jerry's historical archives.
So start your day with encouragement and information.
Join us for Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays on the Dove TV, radio, and streaming. Okay, welcome back. What an honor to have with us today Cynthia Scott. She's a member of the Americans National Prayer Committee, and she has a book called Celebrating God, Our Founder, at America's 250th birthday. And there's a picture of the cover of the book. Cynthia also has a website, godourfounder.com, and there's a picture of that landing page. Again, Cynthia, thank you for your time, and thank you for writing this book. By the way, it's available online at Amazon. I'm going to come back to a subject, I'm sure you talk about this, and it's religious freedom and faith in America has been under attack. I think we can agree to that.
Yes.
And pulpits in America have become silent about biblical moral issues because they've been intimidated to stay away from them under the guise of separation of church and state. And then we get this title of Christian nationalism. How do you address that?
I think I address it a little bit differently than most people. I think it's an amazing thing to be a Christian in America. We are called to follow God unabashedly, unashamedly, and we are also called to steward this great nation. And what people really need to remember is that our founding documents were steeped in the eternal truths of the Bible. All freedom comes from God, our Creator. And the only way that we are going to retain those freedoms is to acknowledge Him. So that we are a Christian nation is a wonderful thing. I think we should all be very proud of it and grateful to be Americans. I also think we should not at all shrink back from being patriotic, even though we're Christians. I mean, God has put us in this nation for such a time as this. And we need to embrace that. That does not mean that everybody needs to be a Christian who lives in America. Not at all. God's given us freedom. But it does mean that without those Christian underpinnings, we will not be able to remain free.
Well said. We talked about earlier, there's a genuine hunger for truth. No question about that. And there also seems to be an awakening going on. Is there, well, let me say this. I've been told, and I think I understand the term silent revival going on in America. Do you sense that?
I haven't heard that term, interestingly. If it's silent, well, then I don't know that it's here yet, because we cannot help but share what we find out about God. When we are filled afresh with the Holy Spirit, I think you would agree, Perry, He just bubbles out through us. I do think there is a great interest in what God is doing. And I think that He is using this moment of America 250 to draw people to Himself. You know, my book is both history and prayer. In each chapter, the history of the nation and God's hand on it, and prayer for the nation. And this book actually started as prayers for congregational prayer meetings. And they sat in my computer for 5 years. This happened through COVID. And then God opened the door to put together this book because I think people are curious about the nation. So I believe that God is stirring in our nation. The people I know are becoming more and more vocal about that. Mm-hmm. And I think they're loving the facts of what He's done to really bring America to this point.
If I understand the term silent revival, and I've talked to quite a few people about this, to help qualify that term a little bit, it seems that there is a revival brewing, but it's not being led by a particular denomination or person.
I see what you're saying.
That God is actually moving, and you're seeing young men being drawn. We just had that on with Reagan. Young men are being drawn to the church. I've had George Barner on numerous occasions. He's verifying the fact that the Z's and the A's are being drawn to faith. They're looking for reality. So there is a silent revival, because if it was led by a person or a denomination, we'd be selling T-shirts now.
Right.
You know, we'd own it. But something else is brewing. Do you sense it?
I do. I think there has been a tremendous amount of prayer for revival in this nation over many decades. And when you see God moving in one area and then another area, just like your former guest said, one person has an idea and God placed the same thing on another person's heart. That's God moving. That is not manufactured by man. And that's what we want, right? A true and real move of God. So I think he's moving among the young people. I think he's moving in many different ways. I definitely think he's moving in this moment of history that we are celebrating 250 years as a nation. And won't it be wonderful when all those things culminate into just this big, great third awakening? That's what I'm praying for.
Researching to do a book like you've done, I'm sure you were inspired at every moment, okay? And I want to come back to that. But the question I want to ask is, a lot of people think that God has lifted his hand from America. Do you believe that?
No, I do not believe that for 1 minute. I do not think we would see the stirring that we're seeing if that were true. And I would also like to remind your listeners and viewers that twice in our history, God brought awakening in critical moments. We don't think in those terms. We tend to read history and it seems all smooth and it seems as though nobody really had any trials. Well, God moves in the messiness of men, the difficulties, the wars, the trials. And there were moments in our history where some people thought that God was dead. And yet God, but God, as they say. And in response to the prayers of faithful men and women, we had the first Great Awakening. And then we had a second Great Awakening where God again reminded us that we are his and called us to turn back to him. So I do believe he's moving. I do have great hope for the nation if we turn back. I think that's on us. Are we going to turn to him or not?
Well said. So as you were researching the book and doing, what were a couple of things that jumped out at you and grabbed you?
Well, I feel as though, I shouldn't say feel, I noticed that there were many, many providential moments that are almost skipped over. For example, just going back to the Pilgrims, they were blown off course. If they had arrived at their initial destination, the Virginia territory, they would have had no need for the Mayflower Compact. There would have been no covenant written between God and man and the men and each other. So these moments that we look back to are really providential moments. We can take that through the Pilgrims and the Puritans. Look at education, where our educational system is really grounded in the Christian faith. 106 of our first 108 colleges were based in the Christian faith. That statistic shocked me, I have to say. When I read that, I thought, wow, we have fallen. Look from where we have fallen. But God used that. Think about what that means. What that means is that he was shaping the thinking in the colonies long before we ever became a nation on biblical principles. And when we look back at the founding, we need to remember the men and women who were involved in that era were raised during the First Great Awakening. So when they say that our Constitution, for example, is not fit for any but a moral and religious people, they are specifically referring to the Christian religion. They are specifically referring to the morals found in the Bible, because that is the world in which they were living, unlike where we are today. So those moments, think about George Washington and how many times he escaped death miraculously, and how many times God stepped in during the Revolutionary War, to help his army escape across the East River, for example, or to give them victory in various battles where they should have lost. Just the fact that we won is a miracle in and of itself. So there are many, many moments.
Do you think the Church of America understands this moment?
I'm praying that they begin to understand it more fully. I guess I would say that many churches step back from discussing culture or governance or national issues. And it would be a mistake to step back from this moment. That's part of the reason why I wrote this book, that we would understand our history, embrace it, and seek God for the nation. So we have a choice here as the church in America. We can either step into the moment and let God work through every single church, or we can step back and miss some of what God is doing. We know in past revivals, we know even at the time of our revolution, not everybody stepped into the moment and to what God was doing. But my prayer is that every church in America will step into this moment.
The reason I asked that question, Cynthia, is we head into a significant number, 250 50th birthday. And I'm sure out of this is going to come a lot of patriotism, and rightfully so. But if our patriotism isn't rooted in the Christian founding of this nation, it will quickly die. We saw that after 9/11. We saw it after other things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping with the threshold that we're now crossing, where we're reading the Bible for a whole week across the nation, we got the National Day of Prayer coming. We're going to rededicate the country to be one nation under God, and then we go to July 4th. All of this has to sit on the foundation of being a Christian nation. Along with you, I hope we see this moment.
I do too. And that's part of the reason that I think this book and other books that call us to prayer and to remembering our history are so important. Because this is a way to meaningfully engage in this moment on a personal level first, with God, encountering God in prayer, remembering our history, rededicating ourselves individually to God. It's a place to begin this celebration, because as we celebrate with fireworks and parties, we want to make sure to keep our priorities straight. And God needs to be at the very top and pinnacle of our celebrations. He needs to be remembered and honored. 1 Samuel 2:30, which is sort of the theme of this book, it says, and God is saying this, those who honor me, I will honor. And we live in a nation where God was honored in our past. And look what he did. He built the greatest nation the world has ever seen. It's now up to us to honor God, to remember what he's done, and allow him to work through each one of us personally and collectively to make sure that the future of our nation is bright and godly.
30 seconds. What do you want people to take from your book?
I want them to honor God. I want them to know the truth of our history so they can defend it. I want them to know that God is truly our founder, that he loves us, and that he has good intentions for this nation. And I really want people to draw near to God personally as they read the history and pray and celebrate this momentous time in American history.
So well said. All right, let me say to our viewers and listeners, go online, get the book at Amazon, Celebrating God, Our Founder, at America's 250th birthday. There's a picture of the cover. What a beautiful cover by Cynthia Scott. And then also join her on her website, godourfounder.com. And there's the picture of that landing page. Cynthia, you're an inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barry. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. And let's stay connected. And we got some great events ahead of us.
We sure do.
Yeah. God bless you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye now.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.